Backstage. What are you doing, Stout? You're giving him terrible recommendations. Stout has no idea what he's talking about.
See, what you do if you want to have some interesting fun is something called a car bomb, where you take a half a pint of Guinness and you take a shot glass full of Bailey's.
Jägermeister.
Hold on.
What Bailey's?
No, it's Bailey's, and you drop it in and drink it before the milk curdles in the Bailey's.
Donovan Barry just said, I saw a video where you got another DVD set of Dungeons and Dragons with the original music. Yes, the UK set, the Region 2 set, has all the original music.
Yes, Adam. Very good choice, Captain Morgan.
And for a very long time, that was actually the only way you could get the version with the original music. But then Mill Creek re-released Dungeons and Dragons and managed to get it with all the original music. So the Mill Creek set is probably the cheaper way to go than importing the UK set.
In Raptor, if you really want to try a unique experience, you get a really expensive bottle of... Fuck, I just forgot what it's called.
Rum?
No.
What the hell is on Chris's face?
That's Roger Rabbit.
Oh.
Ding, 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 we have a winner!
I didn't even notice. How long has that been sitting on his head?
I don't know. What day is it?
What you want to do is get a really expensive bottle of
Guys are
absinthe.
insane.
What you want to do is you leave it in a cold, dark place that's not your fridge. You want it to room temperature, but you don't want it warm. And you let it sit, and you open the lid, let it sit for 30 minutes, and you pour yourself a little bit of drink, and you just sip on it until you drink the whole thing, and then you pour a little bit more than last time. And it tastes like black licorice, so it tastes awful. But about your third glass in, like you put like this much in. There you go. This much in the first time, then you put a little bit more and a little bit more. By the time you get that third one, you are tripping balls. It's fucking awesome.
So
don't drink too much because licorice vomit tastes bad.
Oh, that would be nasty.
It's the worst.
Patrick mentions I'm thinking about getting the Mill Creek set. I saw you mention that, Patrick, on the Facebook page when I posted the link to the Mill Creek set and saying why I got it. Yeah, definitely. I mean, why not? I mean, it's like $5, $6. I think the day after I got it, it went up to $6. Ooh, so much more expensive. But yeah, I mean, why not? It's cheap, and you know you're getting it fully uncut the way it's meant to be seen. And Adam says, my Polish friend, whose name is also Adam, taught me the magic of Guinness with a shot of vodka and a drop of vanilla. Best shit ever, seriously.
That's pretty much a handmade car bomb. That's technically what Bailey's is vodka and vanilla.
Raptor Rivera says, Skin Slip is going to get me zonked out of my mind. He is a god. Oh, and Skin Slip went to pee again. I didn't notice that.
If you ever have the inkling to drink a beer, I do recommend two. For all you AVGN nerds, obviously drink some Rolling Rock. But actually I was introduced to it recently. Everybody knows Blue Moon. But this is Blue Moon Valencia Grove Amber Lager. And it's pretty much an amber lager with Valencia oranges. And it's actually pretty good.
My stepsister named her daughter Valencia.
So
I thought it was an odd name for a human being.
Should have wear this on my head until it falls off.
Whoa.
Thrustbone.
Justin Zwart, Thrustbone, has joined the Hangout. Holy crap, we got a full house today. Frank says, in 2000, when I found out about a live-action movie, Dungeons & Dragons, which I still have not seen, by the way, nor have I seen Wrath of the Dragon God.
Was that the one with Tom Hanks?
No, it wasn't. No, you're thinking of Mazes and Monsters.
Mazes and Monsters, yes.
That one was good. That was, even though it's flawed, but
it's fucking hilarious.
It is, yeah. No, it's about this, basically this guy
it's
gets
the closest thing we'll ever have to
Dragons.
Tom Hanks looking like he's tripping balls.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Sorry, the Frank says he thought the movie was going to be like the cartoon, and he says, I found the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon series depressing. Well, I guess I can see that because I mean how they're always trying to get home and they never do. There was one episode that the kids got really tired of Venger and they wanted to kill him. Yes, that's actually one of the big episodes, and one of the reasons why I wanted to get the version with the music unchanged, because apparently the original score for that episode is really dramatic and really adds to the drama of it. That one's called
+1 for the Mill Creek set.
That's an episode called The Dragon's Graveyard, I believe from season 3. And it's considered one of the absolute... Yeah, it's considered one of the best episodes of the series, if not the best episode.
Apparently
basically, they're saying, like, how, you know, fuck this, we've been wanting to get home all the time, and Venger's just constantly dogging our asses the whole way. Let's go find Tiamat, and get Tiamat on our side to beat Venger. So, they go, and... Yeah, it's awesome. Oh, yeah, I like Eric. Yeah, Eric's awesome. He's so funny. Voiced by Donnie Most from Happy Days. I noticed actually Rosie's been watching a lot of that Teen Wolf set that you sent us, Frank, and she loves it. And I noticed that Donnie Most is the voice of the main character's best friend in that as well.
Really hated that show.
The sort of scheming, conniving best friend. You didn't like Teen Wolf, really? I've actually been really enjoying it. I thought.
No.
I wasn't sure. Like, I don't think I ever actually saw the movie, and I remember seeing the cartoon around, but I never really watched it. But Rosie just loves it. She watched the entire set in like a matter of a couple of days, and I was just kind of watching it with her. And
she's your kid, you know that, right?
And I thought it was a blast. I really enjoyed it.
Just if you weren't sure, Rosie's definitely your child.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt in my mind that she's your kid.
Frank asked it.
It's Don Most now.
Oh, Don. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Frank asked, how did Venger become a bad guy? That, I don't actually remember if we got the full story behind that.
I don't think we ever did.
I know that we did find out that he's Dungeon Master's son. But other than that, I don't know what the full story was as to how he went bad. I know that there was a couple of episodes, I think, where Dungeon Master referred to it, and just that he was disappointed that he failed with Venger or something like that. But beyond that, I don't know if we actually ever found out the full story.
That's okay, Frank. Nobody likes Teen Wolf too. It's just there.
Yeah.
It's got Jason Bateman in it, but
well, the cartoon was definitely based on the first movie, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, the cartoon was okay. I just don't think I ever got into it. I just think it was just not. I think I was just too old at that time. I don't know. When I finally saw it, you know,
could be, yeah. I think that could be why I didn't really watch it either. It was kind of, I was in that in between period where I wasn't really as into new cartoons except for a few.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until, you know, now when, you know, feeling nostalgic for the bygone days of yesteryear and revisiting a lot of these old favorites and checking out a lot of the ones that I missed as well. So, yeah, so I definitely...
I'll check it out eventually, I think, you know.
Yeah, no, I've definitely been enjoying watching it with Rosie, and actually the set you sent me is really nice quality, I have to say. Like, it's almost on par with... I mean, it's a bootleg set, obviously, because it's not available officially, but really nice quality, like far better than some of the other bootleg sets I've seen of other shows.
That's because I think in other territories there have been DVD releases.
It could be. No, these. I'm pretty sure these were TV rips, but I think they were from more recent repeats.
That might be, because I know a lot of the things get replayed and stuff. So.
Like on the retro channels and stuff, yeah.
All this talk about bootlegs, it's kind of making me think, you know those, like, shows within shows, like those little mini TV shows that other shows would have? And I think they should do, like, little mini, like, $1.99 releases of those mini shows. Shows like Powdered Toast Man and stuff like that. But
like this,
Toast Man.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to see them get a DVD release. There was only 5 episodes. Sectars, Warriors of Symbion.
Sectars, yes.
I would love to see a DVD release of that, and like
toys are so cool.
Put all the toy commercials on there. I have all 8 issues that they did of the comics.
Single disc too.
Yeah, they only did 1 miniseries, and that was it. And it was, I think it was only ever shown once. I've only found like the crappiest recording of it online, and that's all I've been able to find. It's barely watchable, but it's something.
The cartoon I've always wanted on DVD is James Bond Jr. Actually,
James Bond Jr.
love
Sorry,
that
Frank is
show.
asking if I watched Mr. T or Hulk Hogan. I actually haven't got around to
It's
watching those ones yet.
rock
but,
and wrestling, but yeah.
Yeah,
A
I
show
probably
that
will
definitely...
though. I actually used to watch Hulk Hogan quite a bit when it was originally on. Even though I wasn't a big wrestling fan, I enjoyed the cartoon.
Rock and wrestling was
So.
awesome.
Yeah, it
Big
was
There was
Boss
a,
Man was basically Big Boss Man is basically Aquaman. It just felt like
There
that.
was a variety show in the 90s called on Nickelodeon called Kablam. I don't know if anybody remembers it.
I do.
Yeah,
you
I
do?
can blame.
There was one show
Orpheus
that
and
I would...
Bob.
There is one show, yeah, actually, that I want to see like a $1.99 DVD release of all the episodes of Prometheus and Bob.
Prometheus and Bob, that's what it was. Sorry, Orpheus, that was close.
It's Prometheus and Bob.
claymation
It's
dude.
fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
Patrick
In
says.
Action League now.
Patrick says I'd like to see Muppet Babies on DVD, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I do.
They a few years ago I would have said yes, but I agree. However, now I think it's far more possible that it could happen because Disney owns Marvel, which produced the Muppet Babies cartoons. They own Muppets. It's Muppets, and now they own Lucasfilm. And one of the big things holding
that was
it.
their plan all along.
One of the big
To
things.
buy all those, they could do Muppet Babies.
Yes, one of the big things holding them back from doing Muppet Babies is the fact that they used a lot of Lucasfilm clips. All the other clips they use are from public domain sources, so that's okay. But,
and a few MGM, I think, but I mean
yeah.
that's really easy for them to license. MGM's shit's cheap now.
Yeah, because
Right.
MGM just wants any money they can get their hands on to stay
That's right.
out of
So
business or
that's the
stay in
time
business.
to do it, you know.
So it is.
Melt me.
So now, with Disney owning basically all the major licenses that were involved in Muppet Babies, I think it's very possible we might actually finally see a DVD release of it. I sure as hell hope so. But if they do, fucking grab it like the second it comes out, because if they lose any one of those licenses, those discs are going out of print instantly. So
Yep.
don't waste any time if Muppet Babies
If it
comes
goes
out
up
on
for
DVD.
pre-order it because it
Yeah.
might
I
be the
wasn't
only
even
way
that
to
big
get
a fan of the
released.
show.
Oh, wait a minute. So Frank says that Muppet Babies also had clips from Ghostbusters and the Three Stooges. Three Stooges would be public domain most likely. Ghostbusters
they
they
are
would
public
have
domain.
Ghostbusters they would have to license from Sony because Sony owns Ghostbusters right now.
Which owns MGM. So
They can
it's all
always
the
omit
same.
those episodes.
So they might actually be able to do it.
Raptor is
This is
talking
that
about
was Columbia, right? Okay.
Talking about
Well,
Kablam.
Sony owns Columbia though.
Yeah, Columbia TriStar.
He
Yeah.
was
So,
Melt Man
yeah.
with the
Yeah.
power to melt.
I like. Was it Plastic Diver Guy? Something
Yes,
else.
that was Melt Man. That was.
No, the
With-
diver dude though.
Oh yeah, that's on toilet. So he was a toilet diver. That's what he was.
Yeah.
He always
deep sea diver.
dove
Did you
in.
just wait a minute, Stout? Did you just take your temperature rectally?
No.
I just saw you shaking
cleaning my
something and then
glasses.
looking at it, and then inserting it back into your anus.
No.
What were you doing down there in that little
Yeah,
window?
Do you see? Do you see? This is my
No.
shirt.
That's your glove?
Poor bastard.
Hey, it's Friday Night Insanity. We have to be random periodically. We can't just be talking about
Yes,
DVDs all
anyone
night.
Diver, that's who it is.
This up.
What do you got there? Oh, you have that bootleg Earthworm Jim set, eh?
I do. This bootleg.
Does it smell like a bootleg?
The only thing that makes it look like a bootleg is that it says approximately XX minutes.
Yeah, and did you see
That's
on that
the only
Amazon
one.
listing that insane chick posted that as evidence that it was a
Oh, I
bootleg?
called her a cunt.
Yeah. Did you?
I did too. I said I hope she gets rectal cancer.
Is that your generic insult for everybody who's just ridiculously
I
stupid?
left
Please
her
get
a
rectal
Mel
cancer.
Gibson
Thank you.
Ask voice message.
Raptor Ruggiero said, "Skin, what is it about Jaws 3 that grabbed your attention so much?" It's in fucking SeaWorld, and Louis Gossett Jr. shoots the shark in the face with a flare gun. All right, come on. What's not to like about it? Jeez.
Okay, here we go. I
I'm
actually
pretty
found
Frank.
right
I'm
here.
pretty sure they had music videos in all of Kid Video, but it was. I thought it was just music done by the Kid Video group rather than licensed stuff.
Which I think is actually licensed by another bank, by a record company.
Oh,
I think that's the
really?
problem. That's no longer with the
Oh.
film company. Like the assets got split.
Oh, okay. So there's some. I knew there's some
I
kind
think
of.
that's the reason why it hasn't,
I remember a kid video.
The video was cool.
Yeah, I liked it.
I don't think I'd own it today. I just don't think it has rewatchability, but still.
Yeah, it would be. It would be like a time capsule type of thing. Very much a product of its time, music video culture, which no longer exists, basically.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean,
it's like Gem.
Views and Bud for the win.
You would watch it for the same reason that you watch Gem.
But Gem, I don't know. Gem to me has more appeal because actually, I don't know. It's just Gem.
Well, it's got more of a story to it. I think it's got it does have an ongoing story and stuff, and it's fucking Sunbow Marvel, which is awesome.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. There's the rest. There's the rest of them there. There's Meltman with the power to melt. Stinky Diver, a former Navy commando, with a former Navy commando with an attitude as bad as his odor.
What are you talking about?
There's it's Kablam. There's Action League now.
Action League, sorry.
On Kablam, and then there's Thunder Girl, where she flies like thunder. And then the main dude is the Flesh. His body, he's super strong and super naked.
Super naked. Adam says, I wonder if Skin Slip will tell me to get rectal cancer if I tell him that I hate Will Smith.
No, I don't care. Will Smith makes more money than you, so I don't think you get the right to ask your opinion. Makes more money than me, and I don't care.
Was there a cartoon that you watched in the 90s, Sean, that was like a current 90s cartoon?
Yeah. No, there was a few. Batman the Animated Series, obviously. Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
Yes.
Back to the Future, the animated series. I didn't watch Freakazoids.
You didn't watch Freakazoid?
No, I watched Animaniacs and Tiny Toons.
Poor man, you missed the greatest show.
Botsmaster, Conan the Adventurer.
Was awesome. Jungle Fiber. Oh, I love that toy.
Conan the Adventurer. Sonic, the Saturday morning series. Sonic Sat AM. Exo Squad. X-Men. Beast Wars.
Jeez.
Reboot.
I thought you were mostly about the 80s.
X-Men.
Fuck, what else? There was Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Oh, I love that show.
Botsmaster.
Did you watch Biker Mice from Mars?
I didn't. A lot of my friends watched it, and I wanted to check it out. I just never got around to it.
It's like a trilogy. Biker Mice from Mars.
And
Street Sharks.
The Phantom 2040.
Yeah,
that was a really good show.
90s franchise.
Did you just call Street Sharks shitty?
You mean this one?
Yes, I did.
I don't think you should be talking, Chris.
I have not watched it yet. I have not watched it yet. I've never seen it. I picked it up blind because Skin Slip was all the rage about it.
If you don't like it, send it to me with Biolante. I got delivered with Biolante.
There you go.
I might just give it to you anyway because I knew about. I said it in a review. I knew of it, but I never watched it, and now I'm 21, and it just seems shitty to me.
Oh, see, here's the problem, Chris, is you're getting to that age when certain things that may have appealed to you when you were younger won't appeal to you anymore. But
unfortunately,
you will get past that point when you hit about 30, and you'll start to get nostalgic for things, and you'll want to experience things that evoke those same feelings.
And you'll come crawling back to me asking for that box set back.
Which is why I went on a binge and got like every 80s cartoon ever created.
Look at them paper sleeves. Aren't they lovely?
Oh yeah.
I'll lick those paper sleeves you send them to me.
I hate how they kind of tease you like, oh look, it's a normal case, and I open up, oh there they are.
Yeah, no, I know. 4 discs in a stack.
I don't care. Who gives a shit?
I don't care. But it's like, why make it like a normal case?
Because it's
this has
it fits more on a shelf. That's
this
why.
has bonus episodes of Cops on it.
It has one. It has
one. The Case of the Boy Who Cried Sea Monster.
Yeah, the only connection is like the writer of that episode is a producer of Street Sharks.
I think it's either Brave Star or Jace Volume 1 also has one episode of Cops on it.
Well, they just really want to emphasize that they have cops.
I do like the fact that they are cross promoting more and we're getting more.
I'm okay with that. I mean, whatever helps them get sales.
Like
man.
I had what the fuck was it? One of them I I forget what one of their sets also had a bonus episode, and it was an episode of Jace, which I thought was quite cool.
Jace.
And Wheels Boy,
I'm looking at Jace right now. I'm rubbing Jace.
Yeah, here it is.
I'm fondling
That
It
Jace.
feels shitty that I didn't ask for a review copy of Jace only because I don't have Volume 1.
Yeah, here's
I
Jace
really
Volume 1,
wanted
actually.
both.
And it does have a bonus episode of Cops on it.
I haven't picked up Volume 1 because I still have the Shout Factory Volume 1, so it would just be redundant. But I'm thinking I'll pick it up at some point just to more fully support the Mill Creek releases. And
Yeah, there we go.
yeah,
I
actually
really
your
want that
discard,
set too.
your discard I think has the same. Oh no, actually I know what your discard is from. Your discard is from the Geek DVD release
Yes.
that came out a few years ago. It was just
That
a
is
single
correct.
disc release.
Eek the cat.
Yeah.
Eek the Cat's an amazing show.
Eek's
about
pretty
the cat
funny.
Who is like freaking neurotic and always trying to get people out of trouble. And
So I guess to get back
being
to your
tortured
original
for it.
question, Chris, a lot of '90s cartoons that I
That
watched.
surprises me.
The Tick.
because
The Tick
when
was
I
another one.
was first
And Mighty
watching
Max.
your videos, it seemed like you were
And
all
Mighty
about
Max.
the 80s.
Oh, I'm very much about the '80s. I think the last really good cartoons, like Saturday morning type stuff, was on during the '90s. I think that was kind of the last
Yep.
blast for that era.
And
every so often there's a good show, but it
Oh, yeah.
wasn't like the 80s and 90s. That's what we say.
No, the
It's
80s
not
and
that there's
90s
good
there
shows
was
now.
a lot of good stuff. I mean, there's just
Yeah.
I mean, it was almost too
War
much.
Planets. I loved War Planets.
War Planets was good
Oh,
too.
that's another one.
Yeah.
The New Adventures of Johnny Quest.
Skeleton Warriors,
Yeah,
The New Adventures of Johnny Quest. Both
Yeah.
of those are good.
That's another good one.
Ah,
I
Wing
love that
Commander.
intro.
Wing Commander.
So-
Wing
Chris, we're not saying that-
Wing Commander Academy. I keep meaning to
Man.
pick that up, but
I
I
never
keep
even-
forgetting. That
We're
is
not
a
saying
great
that,
show.
2000s cartoons are bad. We're just saying there's less good ones.
There are less. Yeah, I mean there are some good ones, but there's
always
definitely
good cartoon
less.
here and there.
There's definitely less
You
than
know?
there used to be. Like, I mean, I've always been a big fan of the action adventure type stuff, obviously.
Max Steel, I thought, was a pretty good one from the 2000s.
So, it seems like the only good, like, consistently good action adventure cartoons we get are the ones based on comic books, like the Marvel and DC stuff lately.
I've never seen any, I never
And-
saw Reboot as a kid.
Reboot was
Gorno-
great.
Gornum says
I
80s was the
hear.
golden age, but I think
Yeah.
80s was actually more like the silver age. The golden age was, Looney Tunes. Like
Well,
that
I
was the
remember
golden age.
talking with a friend of mine in the early, early '90s. That there was some people saying that we were entering a second golden age of animation. And at the time, it really felt like it because we were getting some really
Yeah.
high quality stuff, like
Absolutely.
Batman and Ren and Stimpy, which was a great callback to the old classic Warner Brothers cartoons and the sort of insanity,
Frank has a nice
insane kind of
trifecta there.
cartoons.
Darkwing Duck, Goof Troop, and Bonkers.
Well, there you go. And we had Disney. We had
Yep,
Disney
and
doing the TV
Disney
animation.
rocking out some pretty awesome shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched.
Everybody do a
good
Goofy
quality show.
impression.
The only one I
DuckTales.
really watched
Yeah.
regularly of the Disney ones was Gummy Bears. I really liked Gummy Bears.
Gummy bears.
And I watched,
bouncing here and there and everywhere.
I watched Darkwing Duck a little bit when it first started, but I didn't really keep up with it.
No
So-
DuckTales, Sean?
I didn't actually. Cass was really into DuckTales, as I recall, but
That's because Cass was a pussy.
yeah, had a lot of the VHS releases.
Still do, actually, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, somewhere in a box.
Nothing
I'm
wrong with
sure.
DuckTales. I like
Mm.
it. And
I
Raptor
love-
said, why didn't...
I just like cartoons, period. I don't care.
Raptor said, why didn't Superman the animated series catch on at like Batman's animated series? I don't think it didn't not catch on. I just think that the idea for Justice League presented itself, and Superman had been doing crossovers with all of them,
Yeah.
so they just transitioned into Justice League. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's not that it didn't catch on.
And I think
Batman's only on for one more season than Superman.
was it? Yeah. Batman
Yeah.
had way more episodes though. Like
Yeah,
Batman,
yeah,
Batman
yeah.
collectively
Crossover?
had almost double the episodes, I think.
The animated series of
Gargoyles.
Aladdin was
Frank
actually
mentions
pretty
Gargoyles.
good.
That's another good one. Yeah.
Yeah, Batman crossed over in the first season of Superman, the Batman Superman movie,
Absolutely.
mid-season, I believe.
All
It's
right,
on
I'll
the
be back in a
Superman
brief
set.
minute.
So
Oh, yeah, does anybody remember Aladdin, the animated series?
I
Yeah.
do, actually.
pretty decent.
I think
Yeah.
it's the reason I talk like Gilbert Gottfried in my sleep.
In your sleep, you talk like him when you're
What
awake.
I
too.
liked about it is that it felt like
when I'm awake, when I'm awake, when I'm eating, when I'm sleeping, when I'm taking a shower, basically every day.
Especially when you're taking a shit. You're like, oh God, what was that?
Especially when I'm taking a shit.
the Aladdin show, what was great about it is that it wasn't like the obvious departure from the movie to the TV show. Is it very much felt like I was watching like a new part of the movie. Because it was a direct continuation.
It was actually a direct continuation of the second movie.
Return
When they came
of
up with
Jafar.
it. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
where
because,
they started
Well, yeah, because Iago was back.
that. Right.
So
Gummy
So
bears.
Technically, that was the beginning, and then I believe
Gummy bears.
Aladdin.
Wait, what's that? You have to
Aladdin
talk,
was
Chris,
the-
so you come up on the screen. And Skinslip needs to stop talking so you can come up on the
Aladdin
screen.
was
What are you holding up
was, like,
there?
the second season
What is that
of-
you're holding up, Chris? What is that, Chris?
Garbage can.
You have to speak.
Talk about the anime series Aladdin, and here is basically one of the pioneers of that.
Laserdisc.
On Laserdisc.
Nice.
Yes,
Old
because the
Laserdisc.
animated series is a sequel to that.
I actually,
Is that sealed?
before I forget, Sean, I got something that'll make you jealous.
Uh-oh. Something more? You always
Chris, was
have
that
something
sealed?
that'll make me jealous.
I do.
Chris, was that sealed? Chris.
Yes, it's sealed. Yeah.
Okay.
Relax.
I'm drunk. I can't relax.
I know. You're a very awesome drunk, and we know.
I like your
Maybe
Mario
a
and
little-
Yoshi shirt, by the way. That's very nice.
I've had this since I was 14, so I'm actually surprised it still fits my fat ass body. To make
not
you
that
jealous,
bad.
what I have here is a
What do you got there?
Laserdisc.
Yes, thanks, Kaz.
Song of the South, Korean Laserdisc.
Oh,
So
Oh,
now
that's
I
right.
can actually watch
My wife
something.
has
Nice.
that. I don't have that.
I have
Because
a
Disney doesn't
DVD.
like this movie.
I have a DVD rip of that.
I have a DVD rip of that also.
Yeah.
There you
The ex-wife
go.
has Laserdisc, and I have to pee.
There's something about having a laser. from
Having the
fucking
actual-
Korea.
Official release, yeah. That's pretty awesome.
Well, I don't know how official can it be if it's from Korea. You
Well,
know?
Korea is okay. It's China you got to worry about. China's the bootleg capital.
Touche.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. China Blue is gonna take over.
China Blue.
I have a lot of laser. Like,
Forgot about that.
I have a lot of laser discs. You still have your laser discs, right, Sean? You have
Yeah.
not finished your laser discs.
Oh yeah,
Have you?
no, I know. I think I'm just gonna start fresh on that. Same with the PS2 collection. I never finished
And
either of those.
Transformers. I want to see the inside of that box.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, Adam was saying. This reminds me, I keep forgetting you to send you this Laserdisc, Sean. I have a copy of Cemetery Man for you. Nice. I've never seen Cemetery Man. I vaguely remember you mentioning it on occasion.
I've heard of that. Which version of the Roger Rabbit Laserdiscs has the infamous crotch shot?
The CAV edition.
CAV.
It's the
I'm
two
sure
disc.
that goes for a lot of money now. Oh,
There-
look, an elephant condom.
Actually, I think technically both of them do, but the reason people like the CAV version is because it was the only format that allowed you to step frame and still frame. So
and therefore you could look up Jessica Rabbit's dress and see
you
her.
could go frame by frame.
Has an elephant ever used this show?
But if you, it's funny they call it an elephant condom, but if that was the case, then that's a pretty short dick for an elephant.
It is. Maybe it just
Just covers the tip.
shell. It doesn't do the whole shaft.
It just covers the helmet.
It covers the tip.
Hey, is that a battle royale hat you're wearing there? I see it says BR. Yes.
No.
That's a brony hat.
Oh, ouch.
So you fucking
It's a
retard.
gift.
Very not as cool as I thought it was.
Do they make battle royale hats?
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Just to make this this is a housewarming gift, I guess you could say. My parents
Frank,
just came out and said, hey, we got you something, and they just handed me this.
Frank says, I miss Hanna-Barbera. I miss a lot of the old companies. Like Sunbow is gone.
Geek.
Filmation is gone. Geek is
Geek.
gone.
Yeah.
All the ones, all the big
good
ones that we
ones.
grew up with, that did all the best cartoons we grew up with, are gone. It's a crying shame.
It's
I know
a fucking
Joe
shame.
lasted longer than
Did they both die? I knew one of them had passed away. I didn't realize.
William Hanna died, I think, in early 2000, and Joseph Barbera died a couple years later.
Was it Joe or William that did the voice of Tom, like the Tom screams in the old Tom and Jerry cartoons?
I think it was Joe.
Yeah,
I believe it was Joe.
thought so. I knew it was one of them.
I know the last thing that William Hanna ever did was a short cameo in that atrocious Flintstones live-action movie. His only line is "It's madness," and that was the last thing he ever did.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's sad.
Talking about 90s
Yeah,
cartoons,
even
we
more sad
forgot
that he was in
about
that
Doug. No, we didn't.
Doug is kind of... Doug didn't age very well.
Says who?
Says
I
me.
think it
To
Says
the bygone days of yesteryear in the world of cartoons. Cheers.
Says
Jeez.
Robot Chicken in that hilarious Doug joke. Where
Okay.
he's sitting at a bar and he's just like, "Hey, you know that character Doug?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "What have you been up to?" He goes, "Nothing."
Should play some
Oh.
Doug Step.
The first
No.
the first two seasons are still pretty good. It's when Doug got sold to Disney that everything got fucked up, and I will
Absolutely.
trust anybody
And
who
Sean,
denies that.
answer you?
Because,
Yeah.
okay,
No.
what the fuck?
I
Disney
think-
fucked that shit up.
I'm pretty sure I only saw the earlier ones. I don't recall.
Yeah, Nickelodeon Doug. Fuck Disney Doug.
I never even bothered to watch the Disney version.
Frank
Even
asked if
that-
I watched it.
Although I did see the movie in theaters. Was that Disney?
Yeah,
Probably,
that
yeah.
was Disney. I
Frank
saw
asked
it
if I watched any of the
uh,
other
Yeah,
Hanna-Barbera
that's pretty
cartoons with
bad.
Rosie besides Smurf and
I
Scooby-Doo.
I give any show respect who can make an entire song about tofu.
Sorry, I was gonna say we haven't actually yet. You sent a lot. It's literally gonna take years to get through all of them. I think we watched some of the Pac-Man cartoons because I wanted to check out some of the Pac-Man ones. But for the most part, she just latched. I mean, she's always been a Scooby-Doo fan ever since she was little.
Scooby's fucking awesome.
But she's latched on to the Smurfs. Obviously, she loves the Smurfs.
Because they're awesome.
And she picks them out. I mean, she'll just grab like one of the discs and ask me, "What's this one, Daddy?" I'm like, "Oh, that's this." And it's like, "Oh, okay, I want to watch it." So she'll check it out. And if it's something she likes, she'll watch the hell out of it for like a week. Such as
what
Teen
show
Wolf.
I
Teen
love?
Wolf, she just watched for days. That's all she would watch.
I love The Critic. The Critic was a great show.
Oh,
She
The
did really
Critic. Yeah, I need to.
I've never seen an episode of that show.
I need to see.
should.
I need to get
I'd
the
love
Critic
to.
set. I actually watched it when it originally premiered on ABC.
Who
before
created
Fox
The Critic?
picked it up. It was John Lovitz.
Yeah.
Well, I know he starred in it, but did he create?
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
it was
his.
his creation. Yeah, his character.
It's only $14 for the whole series.
Really?
I'm broke, man. Everything I get is free review copies.
They
I don't
did
have that
the.
money.
I'm way broker than you, bitch. I have to move
True.
to another state.
True.
To live
I can't
with
remember if she
But,
watched Pound Puppies. She watched a bit of. What the fuck did she watch? Oh no, she watched The Wuzzles. She watched The Wuzzles. And Get Along Gang, but there was something wrong with the Get Along Gang disc. It started skipping at certain points, so she just kind of gave up on it after a while. But that's
Never
okay because I
watched
know
the
they have an
Snorks.
official release of it. Yeah, actually, I think
Yeah,
you sent me the
John.
Snorks as well. We still have to watch.
Yeah,
We haven't
John
watched the
was
Snorks yet.
awesome.
Since we're still on the subject, two more cartoons.
You like Pound
Daria,
Puppies more than Jabberjaw?
Daria, yeah.
Mission Hill.
Mission Hill was great.
Never,
Oh,
never saw
I
Mission
love
Hill.
Mission Hill.
Oh, yeah, Mission Hill, best show ever.
Yeah.
I never saw Mission
I need-
Hill.
Really? Oh
Mission
fuck!
Hill is amazing.
I need to get that again.
What
That's
makes Mission
that's
Hill?
a great show.
Hold on.
I
Let me
think,
quote my
you
famous.
can agree with me, Sean, is that Mission Hill's artwork is what makes the show amazing.
I was just gonna say, yeah, Mission Hill, and that's very intentional on their part. They basically modeled it after like an independently made graphic novel.
It looks like Ghost World.
Yeah, that's exactly what they were going for. They saw these sort of indie graphic novels at comic shops and thought they looked really cool, and so why don't we do a show in that kind of style? So they came up with Mission Hill. But then, and they talk about this in one of the commentary tracks, and they said what we didn't realize was those cool-looking indie comic books tend to only sell about 1,000 copies if they're lucky. So doing a show in that style didn't necessarily give it widespread appeal, but it looks really cool, and it's absolutely hilarious. It's got such a great set of characters, and it's just so funny.
I'm just like, let me quote my favorite line from Mission Hill: "Penis, penis, 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 penis."
Well, and somebody's like pounding on his door, and he's like, "Yep, just keep banging. That'll make me come faster."
Bling blong, bling blong.
It's
Has
great.
anyone ever seen The Oblongs?
Yes.
Oh yes,
It's another short-lived
The-
show. on
That's
Netflix.
Oblongs
pretty cool.
is what happens.
The Oblongs is
you
great.
give Will Ferrell a coloring pad.
The
I never thought that.
Annetta actually had, I don't know if she still has it, but she had a book of the original book by Angus Oblong that the Oblongs was based on, and it was autographed by Angus Oblong, which is really rare apparently.
Ooh.
But it was
Angus is a weird guy.
it was really hilarious. It kind of reminded me of Tim Burton's book, The Melancholy Death of Oyster Boy, or some of the early Edward Gorey one-panel strips. It was very similar style of twisted humor. The book is a little more twisted than the show ever was. The show's actually pretty toned down.
Well,
funny
they probably
enough.
had to
I know,
tone
yeah.
it down.
Yeah.
Look at that. He goes, "I'm gonna get my girl back, and I'm standing in dog duty."
Yeah, but it's funny. I really like the Oblongs. The Teletoon at the time, when I first discovered all those shows, was showing basically a nighttime block of they would have. I can't remember what order they were in, but they had basically Undergrads, which is another great show. Mission Hill,
Saw that.
the
Never
Oblongs,
saw it.
and then for a while they were also showing MTV's Downtown, which is another great show if you've never seen it. It's
A lot of people in the chat has, which sadly, when it first aired, we never got it in the U.S. Only. In
that's
Canada,
what it was. Sorry,
was
Donovan.
Clone High.
Donovan Barry just found the title,
Clone
Creepy
High.
Susie and 13 Other Tragic Tales for Troubled Children. That's what it was. Yeah.
I don't own as many short-lived cartoons as I thought I did.
Yeah, those are all good ones. If,
'Cause you
if you
suck,
find any of
Chris.
them, get them.
No, I'm just poor. I mean, I've got Batman Beyond, and
That's another
That's
good
what I
show.
have.
Highly underrated.
Oh, is
I've
it?
actually the
I don't
funny
think
thing
it's
is
underrated at
I own all 3 seasons and the movie, and I've only seen Return of the Joker, so I've never seen the series.
Cyber 6 says Teletoon's nighttime programming sucks so badly now. I love that your name is Cyber 6, based on another short-lived adult cartoon there, and you have that complaint specifically. It's just,
Eric,
there's symmetry to that.
I don't think Batman Beyond is underrated at all. I think it was rated perfectly. It's got its own comic series, and it's also been
Yeah.
introduced into the DC Comics main timeline.
I
as
need
one of
to
all
see-
planet Earth that actually exists.
I need to
So-
see more of that. Oh, actually, Giant Guy, King Arthur and the Knights of Justice just got a DVD release over here from Mill Creek.
Oh, that show is so cool.
We actually got the complete series. Yeah. Bionic 6, no word on that yet.
I want Bionic
Um,
6. That'd be awesome. That's Cookie Jar 2, I think, actually.
Is it?
Cat dog. Oh man.
I think there's other issues with Bionic 6. Some kind of, like, there's some aspect of it that's owned by another company, and
Oh, I'm sure.
yeah, some bullshit. Like, because, I mean, I'm very
Yes.
surprised that it has not had any kind of a release by this point.
You kind
I
of
never
have
understood the hate
Adam,
for having like
Adam, you're not paying attention. I just mentioned Downtown. But yes, stop gonging.
That's
The,
my way of wanting to get in and say something.
So I was just gonna
gone
say,
for a while.
Downtown was brilliant.
Just fart.
There was a DVD release put out directly from the creator of the show.
That
What
was
exactly is wrong with Cat Dog?
But there's never been an
Everything's wrong with
official
it.
release beyond that. I have a torrent of it, basically.
This Sal? Enlighten
I
me.
love that show.
not me.
Speak, Cass.
I am taking off for a little bit, but I will be back later.
That's what you
Alright,
want to
we'll
say?
probably be here.
Alright.
Oh,
You
we'll
just
definitely
laughed.
be here. Who am I kidding?
Sound effects.
Frank says, I didn't like Family Dog because the family is mean to the dog. The only person who likes the dog was the girl sister named... named Buffy. That's right, yeah. Well, I mean, the whole point of Family Dog, obviously, was that it was suburban life through the eyes of the family dog. So it wasn't so much that they were mean to the dog. It's just that they were so wrapped up in their own bullshit that they didn't pay enough attention to it. But I liked just what a dysfunctional family it was, and it seemed like the dog was the only one who sort of had his shit together.
Another show that got mentioned a couple times in the chat was Baby Blues.
Baby Blues.
I saw that.
That's a good one.
I never
a fan.
It was underrated.
Is it on DVD?
Not very many people knew about it.
Megas XLR from the maker of MTV's Downtown.
Yeah.
Very funny show.
Met the guys who did at Mega XLR.
Did ya?
They don't like each other.
Chicks love.
There's two guys, the writer and the producer. It was both their ideas. The writer wanted single episodes that were standalone, and the producer wanted an overarching story, and they couldn't ever come to an agreement, which is why it's never been released on home video, because they don't like each other and can't come to an agreement.
Which one? Megas XLR? Seriously?
Megas XLR, yeah.
That sucks.
That's bullshit. That's another one I have a torrent of, because there's no official release.
It probably won't ever get released.
Adam mentions Goat from Downtown is in Megas XLR and Metalocalypse. That is correct. He is the one character that crosses over to all of them. No explanation. He's just in them all.
Metalocalypse is one of those. It grows on you after time.
Metalocalypse is the only one that has had any kind of success from that. Like major success and DVD releases.
Three
and everything.
very awesome. If you are into thrash and death metal, their death albums are must listen to.
It's all death metal.
I really need to actually see that show because I like the other stuff that they've.
If you know
the reason why I
metal or subculture, watching the show is fucking hilarious. It's funny before, but it's even more hilarious if you get a lot of the inside jokes.
Evan asks any Squiggle Vision shows. Well, I know that Stout is a huge fan of home movies. And
movies is great.
I watched, but didn't they make it not Squiggle Vision for the home video release?
No, only the first was.
It was
the first
after
two
season
seasons.
1, right?
Oh, okay.
No, I think it's after 2 seasons.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. So it's like not technically
We call it
Squiggle Vision
the seizure effect.
But it's like,
and then there was Dr.
Whatever.
Katz. Dr. Katz was another one.
Was awesome.
What the hell's wrong with you? I believe I'm having some sort of stroke.
I remember I really liked Dr. I was going to say Dr. Squiggle. Dr. Katz.
Home
Yeah,
Cats.
that's a good show.
Is there a TV show you guys have that's never been finished on DVD and you want it really badly to be finished?
NYPD Blue.
let me look.
Let me look at my list.
Hill
here.
Street Blues.
So cop shows for you.
Well, a couple of cop shows. Most of the other shows I wanted were either one-season wonders or they were finished eventually. Like Forever Night.
This one, I thank Canada. I thank you personally, Sean, for
The
being
Muppet
Canadian.
Show.
Which one?
Ed, Eddie.
Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
The Muppet Show, which hasn't been finished.
Oh
yet.
yeah, Muppet Show. Yeah, that's a good answer.
Oh yeah, Muppet Show hasn't been finished,
Yeah.
hasn't it? Yeah, we need Muppet Show.
You'd
think after the Muppets they'd be like going right
Muppets
after.
too.
That. I mean,
You
it's
would
just
think.
Star Wars
You know,
and stuff.
same shit with Spider-Man. You would think with the Amazing Spider-Man coming out this past summer, they would have finally put out the '90s Spider-Man series. But no, all they did was re-release all the single disc releases they put out over the years. That's it. Same bullshit.
Because there's no effort
The
involved.
Nothing
funny
new.
thing is there's an interview on
Exactly.
the Muppets
Boo.
Blu-ray of one of the characters is an interview with
timing,
Walter, and he actually says, "I'm waiting for Disney to release seasons 4 and onward of the Muppet Show."
Oh really?
So Disney's aware that people want it because they just had a character they own say that.
Yeah,
So why don't they fucking do it?
I
I'm
know.
going to say this purely as a fanboy perspective. For a show they need to complete is we need a proper completion of the mainframe edition of Reboot. Proper.
Proper completion. You mean a complete redo?
Yes.
Probably
Shout
won't happen,
factories fuck
sadly.
up sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not even Shout Factory's fault. Let's be honest.
No, it's
It's
It
mainframe's
wasn't? I
fault.
thought it was.
It's mainframe.
Mainframe.
Actually,
mainframe.
Manic mentions Stargate Universe was completely released. They just only put the second season on DVD, not Blu-ray. Similarly, Caprica, there is an overseas Blu-ray release, but here it's only on DVD.
You know, the fear with the reboot sets was the information was going around that they had the transfers that they got from Mainframe Entertainment were the
Rainmaker.
Rainmaker. I'm sorry.
Rainmaker. Mainframe does not
Rainmaker.
exist anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
Rainmaker.
Rainmaker.
That they had actually mucked with the original transfers, and that's not
Yep.
true
Hmm.
because Netflix has the original transfers.
So they're still out there
The
somewhere.
correct sounding reboot. I know this because I watch it daily.
Wait a minute.
And-
Adam, Total Recall 2070 is on DVD. You just have to import it from Canada. I know because I own it and I've watched it. It's awesome.
So
Total Recall had a TV.
it is still possible
Like
to get a
$4
correct
more
sounding
than what I
reboot.
What?
So-
$40? Really?
$4. $4
Oh, okay.
more
Oh, okay.
for the import tax.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's a rumor going around that Gargoyles is going to be finished.
There's a rumor like for the last three years that it's gonna be finished. We'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because Disney started making mod releases,
Right.
and there's
Rob,
a popular
man, yeah.
rumor that they're going to do that to finish a lot of their TV shows. That, funny enough, most of which were left with one volume away from being finished.
Yeah. Sorry, Rob Jensen says the TMNT seasons, like the 2003 series, I guess you
TMNT.
mean. The missing
Shout
seasons
Factory
and
should
the
get their hands on
crammed
that.
seasons. What do you mean by the crammed seasons? I don't follow you there. Because I know they
He means like the
like seasons 3 and 4, like re-release those properly.
that'd be nice.
Because
I've
they're
never
kind of
even
a
seen
hodgepodge
2003's
of the
version.
current releases. But
I'm actually I'm one of the few that didn't like Turtles Forever.
really?
Really, I didn't. I
Well,
didn't
we
care
all know
for it.
Chris is brain damaged. It's all right.
Well, that's true.
I was
I'm
going
not
to
brain damage.
respond.
I just have a different opinion.
I was going to respond
Found
to
his baby. It's all right.
Cat Dog. I just don't think that it's as good as every other.
It's a terrible show.
Seasons
That was out there.
2
Sorry.
and 3. Oh, wait a minute.
There
So,
were
I never
a few
saw it, man.
memorable
hold a second now.
sh-
Not.
Oh,
No.
for fuck's sake! You never let me talk.
That's right. I don't. Sorry,
just
Rob
you don't, Stout.
clarifies. It says 80 seasons 2 and 3. So you're saying that they should, basically what I was saying, they should have spread them out over more discs instead of cramming them onto single discs. Yeah, that would be nice. Better bit rate and all that. Ghost out, say stuff, and be brilliant and funny.
Okay.
Yes.
Cat Dog had a few memorable episodes that I can think of
It's crap.
off the top of my head, but it was just not very good. The concept was very
It's horrible.
what? Why?
It's the
Let
worst
Stout
show ever.
speak, drunk.
I'm enhancing his speak.
Because see, at that time you had a couple of Nicktoons on that were all right, you know, and Angry Beavers is on, and you're just like, why the fuck am I watching Cat Dog when I could be watching Angry Beavers?
Well, Angry
Beavers
was
is
awesome.
fucking brilliant. Cat Dog is shit. I'm sorry. Comparatively, it's not the best.
I feel like Stout is shitting on my childhood.
Adam keeps saying Brain Dead 21. I thought
Why
Brain
does
Dead
everyone like Turtles
21.
Forever so much?
I could have sworn that was a full motion video CD-ROM game from like the early to mid 90s.
It is. Pretty sure.
But I do want to say that there may be a chance that they might go back to making more Nicktoons, because
Well, that's Brain Dead
Nickelodeon
13.
recently announced that they renewed TMNT for a third season, which is kind of unheard of if you really think about it, because the first season hasn't even ended, and they've already renewed it for 2 more seasons. Bam!
Of what? Green Lantern?
Ninja Turtles.
The new TMNT.
Ninja
Turtles,
man.
No, Green Lantern's still canceled. Sorry.
Is there
Damn it.
any information at all about?
It's a fucking Bruce
yeah,
Timm
animated-
series of Green Lantern, and they fucking canceled it. Why?
As I understand, it wasn't canceled. As I understand, it's just on hiatus.
Well, fine.
Yeah,
Thundercats
it's basically
also
canceled.
is.
Fuck that.
It's
It's
canceled.
never coming back.
Is Thundercats canceled?
Thundercats, I believe, is... Oh, Dead at 21. Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
comic series, wasn't
Okay.
it?
Dead at
I'm actually
21.
kind of glad that they cut off Thundercats when they did.
But
Yeah,
when
Garbage
Nickelodeon
Gamer had no
said
love for
that-
the new Thundercats. I haven't seen
No.
much of it, so I can't really
I
say.
I
had
have
no
no love
for
for
it
it
either.
either.
So.
Yeah, we all hated it.
No,
I
it
like-
left a sour taste in my mouth.
All
It really
right.
did.
Well, we'll have to get back to feeling the old one.
Said
Then.
that
I felt like
they were
throwing up in
bringing
my
back
mouth
a third
while watching
season
it.
of TMNT.
You're drunk
They
too,
also
Adam?
said that
Awesome.
they're trying to reinvent Nickelodeon and bring a bigger focus back to animation. So when I read that, I was like, does that mean you're going to bring back Nicktoons? Because if you do, thank you. Finally, you get it. All this live action shit you've been doing, which by the way has been complete and utter shit for the last 10 fucking years.
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Good live
Just
action
stop. Go back to
Um,
the Nicktoons. You were brilliant with the Nicktoons. Fuck the live
show.
action.
Secret World of Alex Mack was the
Stop.
last good live action show they ever did.
Sorry, Raptor
Seriously.
Rivera says, I don't compare cartoons. I just let my eyeballs rest easy with 90s gold. Fuck the rent. I'm watching Invader Zim.
That's brilliant.
I'm
yeah.
feeling like a badass getting adrenaline
How much
pumped
is
with the
the
intro music.
Invaders Zim DVD nowadays?
Well, they did actually re-release it as an MOD title, and I think you can get that for about $30-40 a season.
Yeah, but the MODs don't have any of the bonus features.
Yeah, they don't have
So
any
well.
of the bonus
Yeah.
features.
Deal with it.
You're probably looking
I
at
know,
at
I
least a
won't
couple
deal
hundred. You're
with
probably
it.
looking at least a couple $100 to get the set in either release
Frank.
version.
Yep.
I'm going to a Texas convention, and Richard Steven Horvitz and Ricky Simons, Zim and Gur are going to be there. So
You can
Sweet.
I want to get something for them to autograph.
Yeah.
You can
Get a
get
comic
the
book, it's
first
cheaper.
3 volumes, which has
Actually-
all of the episodes for probably about $20 each.
Yeah.
But the special features
what the
disc in the house,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's gonna cost you.
That's the rare thing. That's the rare thing, yeah. But I mean, to be
$200
fair,
on average.
the majority of the extras are on the 3 volumes anyway. The bonus disc, the bonus disc in the house set has the audio from the unfinished episodes, has the uncut version of the Christmas episode, and it has selections from the music soundtrack and an interview with the music composer Kevin Mante.
I feel like the house would be an easier thing to sign.
That's
'cause
the
it's
main
cardboard.
things that are on, actually I think that's everything that's on the bonus
That's
disc.
everything.
So actually with the 3-volume set, the 3-volume set actually have the better extras where you get the commentaries of Jonan Vasquez and the actors and everything. That's the real gold right there as far as I'm concerned, because the commentaries are just freaking hilarious to listen to. There's all of them are really good.
Raptor Gear-
You said in the review that they basically trash Nickelodeon in those commentaries.
They trash Nickelodeon. They're very honest about just the production and stuff like that, and just their experience working on it and whatnot.
Ren and Stimpy did the same thing. The commentaries, John K is not very positive on Nickelodeon.
I love
staff and people.
I love
very
these
similar.
classic
There's
Nickelodeon
one where, like,
shows.
he did a commentary. He did like a commentary on Sven Hoek, and like they had like.
I think I listened to that.
Delayed.
Yeah, I think I listened to that. I don't remember. I haven't watched my Ren and Stimpy set for a while. I only have the first 2 seasons. Basically, just
Well,
the
you
ones
only
that,
need the first 2
just
seasons.
I was gonna
honestly.
say, yeah, just the ones that John K worked on.
Hey. Raptor Rivera said Geeky Crew should create their own animated series. Well, sir, actually, I already wrote a script for 5 volumes of the webcomic that will
Ooh.
eventually be made
They actually are working on something like that.
at some
so.
point.
We're all working on something like that.
Whoa!
Hey, sort of.
Oh my god!
Thrustbone has a voice. Oh my god! He's just
Yeah.
been this mysterious photo
Oh,
of a guy in a top hat all this time.
And Matt, something epic. Maybe you should go to geeky.com and find out who we are.
And click a
There-
goddamn
there you go.
ad. We all need to eat.
Yeah.
Someone
Same-
told me to click an ad.
Same goes for me, guys. Like, seriously, don't use the fucking ad blockers, because free sites like YouTube, and more importantly, free content providers like me and other partners, and sites like Geeky really depend on the ad revenue just to keep fucking food on our table. So
Even
Nobody
I who
lost-
swears,
uninstall the ad
Like
blockers
the
right
new
now
Ren and
and
Stimpy
never use
cartoon.
them again.
I use the ad blocker for all those porn sites I go to, but I
Well,
turn it
for
off
porn
when
sites, yeah.
I turn it off when I go to people like Sean's page
Yeah.
because I want him to get at least the 2 cents that I earn him. when
It
I see
all
the
adds
video.
up, and I mean, it doesn't cost you anything. It's just to let an ad run or to click on an ad occasionally, you know?
Takes you 2 minutes of your
It's
life,
like-
you'll live.
Yeah.
Like, the reason we're on Livestream right now is because ad blocker killed Stickam.
Yep,
Yeah,
Like,
Literally.
There you go.
that's right.
that's literally it. Stickam was
Yeah,
a
for all
free
those people
site.
that were asking what happened to Stickham, there you go.
You stop
There's your
clicking on
answer,
ads.
because people used fucking ad blocker and stopped them getting ad revenue, so they had to
You
shut
guys are
down the site.
assholes. That's why.
You
It's
know,
all your fault. You
that's
killed it. Hope you all get cancer.
Ad block
Okay,
does not
answer.
technically still display the ad. Ad block prevents them from being displayed. Period.
Yep.
That is
Exactly.
hence the term ad block.
It never allows the page
And-
to load.
And that is a fallacy. People think that it's just a matter of letting the ad be seen or virtually be seen in the background, but no. Actually, very few ads pay out from simply being seen. Most ads pay out from clicks, not from views.
So all you do is
You
you
don't
close
see
the
it.
ad
So-
plays, you click the ad,
doesn't work.
you let the page load up, you close the page, you move on with your life. It takes less than a minute.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that includes turning on and off the ad blocker and reloading the page. I'm telling you, it doesn't take that much time in your life. I do it, and I'm impatient as motherfucker. All right? So,
He even
And
does it
then-
when he's drunk. so-
And that's it. And you're contributing without having any money coming out of your own pocket.
that's right.
Yeah.
So
And if that's not
Um,
enough of a convincing argument for you, do you really want Sean's baby to go without candy and toys?
and Scooby Doo
Big
DVDs.
thing.
I have to go smoke. I'll be back.
I noticed me and Trust are the only
We got
ones
more
wearing
than
hats.
enough people to talk to while I'm going.
Well, Adam, you don't click ads. I don't fucking like you, and I don't want you here. Get away. Don't fuck off. Fuck you, you piece of shit. You're the reason why these.
Come on.
No, fuck that
Um,
guy. I don't ever click on an ad. Well, fuck you. It takes 2 seconds of your fucking life to open up
should
the
wait
ads
till
and
it's done.
steer.
It's gonna
For
slip us
fucking
on
Christ.
It's
Shut
not
up, Eric.
well, honestly, it's not like ads nowadays are, as intrusive as they used to be. When you go to a fucking porn site or something like that, or if you're maybe surfing on Google or something like that, and you have a chance of running into a fucking phishing site or something, then yes, you're gonna run into some,
Matt,
interesting
and the
ads.
You know,
if ad
If
blocker
you're
plus,
careful about
you
it, not
go to the bottom
stupid
right corner
about it,
of your
you're not
thing,
gonna run into any
you
stupid
disable
ads.
it
You're gonna
temporarily.
get all the regular decent ads. Anytime you see a little, blue arrow in the corner, that's AdSense. That means it's legitimate. That
if you
means
guys were just
click it,
willing
you're
to
going
pay
to
for
help
your
the
porn,
person
you wouldn't
who
have to
owns
put
the
up with
fucking
ads to
site.
begin with.
He's got a point.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, Matt, you need to disable ad block. You go to the ad block logo and you just disable it, and you hit refresh on the page. You look at your ad, you click on the ad, you move on with your life, and you re-enable it when you're done. That's all. Simple.
Mine's
Sorry,
just
Eric.
a button. That's
Yeah,
alright.
yours is a button. Mine's not. So
Mine's a little stop sign with a hand on it, and you just click it, and it turns itself on and off.
I've got AdBlock Plus. So
It's
On
the
Firefox.
install app you have on Chrome for me.
see, that's different. Yeah, it's a different app. When you're on Chrome, you just hit
But,
the hand button. On mine, you just gotta disable it.
But yeah, I just wanted to mention real quick. Actually, Frank had mentioned a long time ago that they are in talks of a second SpongeBob movie, and all I really got to say about that is if it has David Hasselhoff in it, I'm okay with this
William Shatner should be there too. Just saying.
because David
William
Hasselhoff was
Shatner
by
should
far
be
the
in
funniest
everything.
damn thing I saw in that movie.
Yes, William
Just
Shatner
having
should
to
be
run
everywhere.
up in his original Baywatch uniform and going, he goes, "Who are you?" He goes, "I'm David Hasselhoff." Dear God.
Dude, spoilers.
Uh,
Now, you
he,
guys think
he,
I'm kidding. I've never
ocean.
seen that movie.
Then he ocean rides on the back of David Hasselhoff like a dolphin.
So
It's
he just
fucking
keeps on with the
hilarious.
spoilers. I love it.
Yes,
I
I'm
love
going
it.
to spoil the fuck out of that movie because of reasons. But yes, we do a double cameo of David Hasselhoff and fucking William Shatner. Maybe get George Takei in there.
Oh my.
That would be
oh my.
pretty
Great.
awesome. I would actually go to the theaters and watch that movie.
I wouldn't.
The only movie that I want to pay to see nowadays would just be George Takei playing chess with William Shatner.
Yes.
That would be a movie worth $10.50.
God, is that how much movies in theaters are now?
Pretty much.
God, like I said,
And
I
that's
was
before popcorn and soda and all that.
I was
And you're
talking.
not even
$11
guaranteed a
a ticket.
blowjob at the end of it.
I was showing
$11.
Skin Slip and Stout the other night. My old little flip scrapbook that I have, and I have a ticket stub for when I saw remastered Star Wars in the theaters, and it was $4.50, and that was 1995. So it's just like, fuck, it's inflated that much.
$11 a ticket here. Just to see a movie. And matinee's $9. Ooh, pull $2 off.
Don't go to see a movie during the final, or don't go to see a movie during the first week. Go see it during the final week.
It doesn't matter.
know what the
There's still
final week
$11 here. It doesn't fucking change for my place.
Here it's
I'm
like
saying
$8
that
for
because
matinee.
that's what it's good for the theater. In the first week, they don't get but maybe 5-10% of the money.
I thought it was 20%, but okay. I'm not sure.
Well, it depends upon the theater.
It probably depends on the movie, too.
Yeah, that too, very much so.
And does everybody remember all of the Nickelodeon game shows
Like
in the 90s?
Double Dare, Family Double Dare, and Nick Arcade. And
Nick Arcade.
Legend of the Hidden Temple.
There's Guts.
Guts.
Legend of the Hidden
I had
Temple.
I had
Figure
such
it
a
out.
crush on Mo. I would
Oh,
jerk
yeah.
off to Mo.
Wild and
Keepers.
Crazy Kids.
Wild and Crazy Kid.
Okay, I've been on the lookout for the last 7 years for a piece of the aggro crag. I'm relatively
What
sure they
did you
never
do?
actually gave anyone a piece. It was just a prop. Because I've never seen one on eBay. I've never seen one anywhere. I would kill for a piece of the aggro crag. I always wanted a piece.
That is the most
I
badass
think you
name
can
for a
find
mountain.
it, but yeah.
I think it was just like the
Why do we
Academy
not
Award, they
have
just
an-
hand it to you and then take it away after the camera goes off.
Why do we
love
not
Michael
have an
Malloy.
actual mountain called the Aggro Crag?
should.
That would be badass.
Okay, if we build a geeky compound, we're building a mountain on our property and call it the aggro crag.
And then we're
I was
gonna
gonna-
reshape the mountain to look like the actual Aggro
Yeah,
Crag.
it's got to be.
Yeah.
And we're
Actually, there's-
hiring Guar for
'cause
security.
you have your people.
Yes.
Oh, I climbed Mount Everest. I climbed,
we
Mount
sell shirts that say I
Mount
climbed the
Fuji,
aggro
something like
crag.
that. And then the guy goes, I climbed the Aggro Crag. It's like,
Kind of sounds like a Scandinavian beer, though, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah, it does a little bit. Or
It just has
a
that badass
Scandinavian power
undertone
metal
to it.
band.
does it even mean anything?
does
What?
what mean anything?
Aggro Crag.
Yeah, aggressive crag. It's
What the fuck is crag? I'm guessing
like a
mountain.
giant crevice.
Aggressive something.
Yeah, bro. Apparently, the girl who played Mo did not like being called Mo.
No.
Oh
no,
my god!
that was one of the big things, was she hated being called Mo. And he knew about it. The host knew about it and continued to do it as a joke.
And
Mike O'Malley
that-
is just so
that's
fucking
not real.
awesome.
He's a dick. It's-
I love him.
but
He's
yeah,
like-
I
He's
still
like
find
Skin Slip
myself.
to me. He's a lovable dick.
Someone made a prop of the aggro crag, but the original does not exist. Someone made
What?
an actual. Yeah. Here,
No,
I'll
the original
I still
has to
find
exist.
myself
they
from
gave
time to
away
time
pieces of it during.
No, they
going-
didn't. It's the same piece in every show. It's like the Academy Award. They took it away from you after the camera went off. Here's a prop replica.
Oh my god.
That's why I
the
want the
original one
aggro
would
crag.
be so fucking rare. Oh my god.
There's only one, probably, maybe two.
Yeah.
You know, and I would pay good money. I would literally spend years paying off the bill for that. I want
But
the
I mean,
aggro.
I swear they actually, parts of the actual aggro crag, they were,
But
giving away as prizes on.
look at
some
the
of
images.
later.
Watch it again. It's pretty sure it's the same piece in every time.
I
I'm not
found a
talking
pic-
about that. I'm talking about actual pieces
Oh,
of the
wow.
set. They actually gave it away.
God. That would be amazing too.
This Boris on the
Yeah.
web guy has one of the original trophies from the Super Aggro Crag.
What are you talking about?
Guts.
Holy shit!
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's a little beyond your time. It's mid.
Super aggro swag. Nice.
For aggro swag.
Um,
Legends of the Hidden Temple. Anybody?
Was it Silver Monkeys or something
Still
like that?
can't
remember.
find the ad thing. What? You're welcome, Z. I don't know what you're thanking me for, but you're welcome. Ars Technica a few years back published an article, which I repost occasionally on my Facebook page. Maybe I'll repost it today. About why ad blockers are incredibly damaging to the free sites and free content providers that you love. Basically, for all the reasons that we just said. Basically, just that a lot of us rely on ad revenue, if not to be our main source of income, at least to be a considerable supplement to our income. I mean, my ad revenue that I make, I don't make a ton. A lot of people think I'm rich from ad revenue. I fucking wish I was rich from ad revenue. But my ad revenue literally pays for my internet. I make enough that it can pay my internet bill. And that's what I use it for. I also use it, if I have more in a good month, I use it for additional DVD and Blu-ray purchases. So, I mean,
Sometimes food.
And sometimes food. But, I mean, it literally goes right back into the content that I provide for you guys. So, if you want me to keep being online and doing stuff like this, ad revenue pays for it and keeps me online and keeps me able to do this stuff on a regular basis. I mean, obviously I get donations from viewers, not just money donations, but also DVDs and stuff, which I do lots of videos about and stuff like that. I mean, that's part of it as well. It's all part of it, but ad revenue is definitely a significant part of it and has been for the past 5 years or so. I also read another article, actually quite recently, just the past couple weeks. There was actually an interview with the guy who created AdBlocker Plus for Firefox, which is one of the most popular ad blocker programs out there.
The one I use.
And he said that I think it's the one everybody uses because it's just really easy to use. And he said the main thing, like one of the questions that he was asked was flat out is your intention to block these sites from getting ad revenue that they rely on? And he said no, that's not the purpose of it. The purpose of it is to block ads specifically that are damaging to your experience using the web, ones that are full of malware and spyware and bullshit like that just bog down your experience and your browser and your performance when you're surfing the web. And he says it's more about people being able to have some level of control over their browsing experience. Now that said, while that may be the intent, I think a lot of people do abuse it and they just leave it on all the time and they block ads everywhere, and that is a misuse of that technology. I can see it being used for sites, I mean, as SkinSub says jokingly, obviously, porn. But, I mean, just generally, there are a lot of sites out there who go overboard with ads, and to the point where it hinders the experience of being able to enjoy the content that they are providing. For example, a website that has been around for a very long time and is a very popular site that people have been using for years, the Huffington Post, which posts some great articles, and I'm sure many of us have read their articles and enjoy their content. But I have them on my Twitter, and I was actually considering removing them from my Twitter because their website has become so bogged down with ads and cross links and cross posts to other articles and stuff, just cross promoting themselves, coupled with just huge, intrusive, irritating, noisy ads. That it was almost to the point, like I was sitting there, I was just trying to read an article that they'd posted, and it was taking so long to load the page because there was so many ads and so many other links to other things that it took me like 5 minutes just to load the goddamn page. I couldn't even read the article, and I was just like, fuck this, I don't even care what the article is anymore, and I closed it. That kind of thing is too much. And That I can under.
Whitelist system, right? Certain websites I whitelist.
And if people have that kind of experience on a regular basis using the web, then yeah, I can understand why they're like, fuck ads, ads suck, they, kill all the ads. But sites like YouTube, I don't think YouTube does it in an intrusive way. I mean, they use they'll have an ad on the corner and they'll have like the little pop-up ones. I don't think it's intrusive. Occasionally it'll be like some ad that comes on pre-roll or whatever that you can't skip and it's really long and you don't want to sit through it. It's like, why am I sitting through a 3-minute ad to watch a 30-second video? Like, come on, it's ridiculous. Yeah, take your headphones off.
It's not that hard.
There's your ad blocker. Just take your headphones off.
Look, certain sites, HuffPo is one of the biggest things. I block the shit out of their sites.
My point is, I think the problem is we are still in a period of transition. I mean, things are changing, things are evolving constantly. There needs to be a happy balance found, and I think that's really the purpose behind AdBlock Plus and why it was created in the first place, is to try to establish that balance, give the user some level of control. But the flip side of that is there are people who abuse it and just use it to block everything, and the problem is that hurts the free sites and whatnot, and that's why sites like Stickam, which we used for many years, ended up having to be shut down because people were just using ad blockers for their full Stickam experience and not giving them any revenue back. So it's expensive to run sites like that. I mean, fucking YouTube. People are like, oh, YouTube owned by Google, they have all the money in the world. But it's like, not really.
YouTube has lost money for every year it's existed, actually.
I mean, YouTube, you got to, I mean, think about it for a second here. How many videos do people upload every day? I mean, they're saying that, was it about a year ago, they gave stats where they said people upload 24 hours worth of videos every minute?
Every minute. Yeah.
Every minute. There are 24 hours worth of videos uploaded to YouTube. So think about this for a second. They need bandwidth to be able to handle that amount of data being uploaded to the site every minute. They need bandwidth for people who are then downloading that content to watch it. And they need space. They need server space, hard drives, computers to store all of that stuff. YouTube has been around since late 2005, so that's pushing almost 8 years now. And how many millions, if not billions of hours of video do they have on that site? And you can access videos from 2005. So they're storing all that stuff. And the thing is, they don't just store the version that you're streaming. The version that you're streaming is a compressed version that they've re-encoded so you can download it quickly and stream it quickly. But they also keep on their servers the original raw files that you originally uploaded.
All the different levels of quality.
Yeah.
Between your version and
all the different levels of quality, which means a separate video file for each level of quality. It is just, I can't even wrap my head around how much storage they must need to maintain that on a regular basis, which means they're constantly buying new servers, constantly buying more hard drives, bigger hard drives, and trying to do it to maintain. It costs a shit ton of money. I mean, I'm looking at my computer and thinking how much I've sunk into it just for hard drives to store the stuff that I produce, and that is huge.
It's interesting. I read an article, I think last year, it talked about the year before, that Google every year has lost more money on YouTube, but it keeps it going because of all of the goodwill it brings.
Yeah.
Like to Google, it's not about making money, it's about what it gives to the internet.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, YouTube has become a very big part of the internet.
they lost last year on YouTube. $30 million. But Google itself made $1 billion, so they just eat that $30 million loss.
Yeah.
Because it's the right thing they do, they said. That they want to, that eventually it will make money.
Well, because Google, I mean, Google contributes a lot of other things. I mean, they have their AdSense system, which is basically an advertiser-based system where advertisers will pay money for certain amounts of clicks on their ads. And it's actually really good value for the advertiser because if you look at it, a lot of people look at it as being the same thing as TV ads, and because the internet is becoming more like TV, where it's ads everywhere. But it's actually not the same. It's a completely different business model, where TV advertisers pay for time. They basically pay for airtime. So they pay a flat rate of, say, $1 million to have an ad on the Super Bowl. So that ad goes out, and everybody who's watching the Super Bowl sees that ad. But here's the thing, is what's the return on that for the advertiser? It's unknown. There's no way to calculate that. It's basically, okay, great, our ad is out there being seen by all these people, but how many people are then going to go out and buy our products?
Well, you think about all the movies that advertise on things like the Super Bowl, and then they never come out anyways because they can't generate enough interest in the product.
Well, here's the flip side of that, is then you look at internet advertising, and the value that it gives to the advertiser is basically they pay for exposure, which on the surface seems like the same thing as TV. However, they pay for clicks. So you get your ad seen, say, 1 million times over the course of however many videos, but the advertiser actually only pays if someone clicks on their ad. And the idea being that if someone's only going to click on their ad if they're interested in their product. So the return is potentially a lot better for the advertiser, because they're only getting people clicking on their ads, and they're only having to pay for people clicking on their ads for, having the exposure and getting that interest generated in their product by people who are actually interested in their product. So they get way more value out of internet ads than they would from TV ads.
Absolutely.
If that makes sense. And
that was very long-winded.
Yeah, it was.
Can you breathe now?
It was. But that's basically the gist of what the Ars Technica article from a few years ago was about, was that a lot of people look at it as the same thing. TV and internet are the same, but they're not.
They're not at all.
The business models are completely different, and the value to the advertiser is way higher with internet ads because they get way more exposure for their product, but they actually have to pay less because they're only paying for people who actually click through on the ads to check out their products.
Also, TV ads are now having a paradigm shift because of DVRs. They paid less money for their advertising, so TV shows are more dependent on their season releases than ever before to fund their show.
That's interesting. So TV advertising has actually become devalued because of internet advertising? Is that what you're saying?
No, because of DVRs, because we're able to skip the ads.
Oh,
and that's the part of that is that when I pay DVR services, people are like, well, why not to pay DVR service? Because it helps pay those advertisers. It's like a penny for every time you skip an ad, but they fucking sends the penny,
But because they've paid for airtime on the show. So I mean, by the time it hits your DVR, I mean it's out of the loop.
Exactly.
They've already paid for that time, so it doesn't matter. Sorry, I just got to read some of the comments here. So Matt Something Epic says, well, in my opinion, I care more for Facebook being as you usually use it to talk about, or you use it to talk to loved ones, or you care about,
phone to talk to my loved ones,
or family, or out of reach. The younger generation, ask my generation that use it. Well, that's true. I mean, I've actually, thanks to Facebook, I've actually got back in touch with a lot of childhood friends that I otherwise would have been still out of touch with. So I'm definitely thankful to Facebook for making that a possibility.
But at the same time, if you'd never gotten connected with it, your life wouldn't have changed at all. So
it
hasn't really brought anything to you other than the ability to.
No, but it's cool to be able to do that. I mean, I have actually managed to get back in touch with and stay in touch with a lot of people that I've missed, from my past. That I'm glad to have been able to.
My friend request from this girl who I knew in high school, who I found in a porn, accepted my friend request, and I was like, I saw you in that porn, and then she blocked me. I was like, damn it.
Now the real question is,
you
does
handled
he still
that
have the
poorly.
link to this?
It's It's Bang Boat.
Sorry, but then Matt adds, he says, YouTube...
Skizzo's getting face red over there.
He says, YouTube you use to watch videos, and I bet less than 25% of the videos are videos that can or will benefit or have an actual meaning other than the comedy or rather joking videos like parodies and such. So, yeah, it's more, it's very, I was talking about this, we were talking about this earlier, actually, how I was in a chat, Skinslip and I were in a chat with Razman's Reality. By the way, we're supposed to give him a shout out because he's not here. There's your shout out, Raz. Check out Razman's Reality. He's an awesome guy, really nice.
I guest host
super
on there
guy.
weekly now. So
yeah, Skinslip's become a regular on his show and stuff, and it's great. Yeah,
somehow.
But because you're awesome, man, you're just awesome.
Apparently,
deal with it.
Shit.
In spite of your best efforts to not be awesome, you still are.
I'm trying so hard for you to hate me and go away. Fuck all of you.
People just love to be abused. What can I say?
Abused. Oh God. Anyways,
what was I gonna say?
Raz.
Fuck.
Raz.
What was my train of thought? I mentioned Raz for a reason.
About getting in touch with people. We were talking earlier in chat.
Getting in touch with people and
Facebook.
Fuck, no, there was something specific we were talking about related to...
I'm sorry.
I know,
I'm sorry,
I can't remember.
I apologize.
It's okay, you got his random shout-out, but I'm trying to remember what the context was.
You were responding to Matt in the chat.
Well, let me screw back.
Getting connected with family, friends.
Let me screw back. Let me scroll back.
I'm gonna go pee. I'm gonna hide.
Pee count 1 million.
Watch videos,
YouTube.
and I bet less than 25% of the videos are videos that can or will benefit or have an actual meaning, other than comedy or rather joking videos. And such.
And that related to our conversation with Raz somehow. And I got completely sidetracked into a shout-out. Fuck. I'm too drunk, I forgot now. Let me show you my Doctor Who DVDs. I got a bunch of new Doctor Who DVDs. This, I would just like to clarify, this is actually thanks to the generous donation of one of my viewers. I would not have been able to get these at all if not for one of my awesome, apparently super rich viewers who keeps sending me money for DVDs. So thank you very much. You know who you are. I won't mention you by name so as not to embarrass you. But got a stack of DVDs to add to the Doctor Who collection here. Third Doctor focus now, because I basically finished with the pretty much finished with the first and second Doctor, so I'm on to the third Doctor now. So in chronological order, we have story number 52, Doctor Who and the Silurians. Very good. Actually, I should mention, previously only available in black and white as black and white film print. They've recolorized the entire story, and it looks fantastic. They really did an amazing job on this. The Ambassadors of Death, another one that was recolorized, also looks fantastic. Inferno, great stuff. Apparently getting a special edition release. I did not know this when I ordered this, so I'll be getting that one again with the special edition. Terror of the Otons, also recolorized. Notable in that it is the second appearance of the Otons and also the first appearance of the Master, rival, renegade Time Lord who plagues the Doctor for quite some time. The Claws of Axos, special edition. This one is really cool because it actually has the earliest surviving studio master footage as a bonus. 73 minutes of raw footage from the studio recording sessions. You get to see a lot of... it really gives you an insight in just how they made the show back in the early 70s, and it's really, really cool stuff. Then we have Colony in Space. This is one Chris will appreciate. The Demons! I finally have the Demons!
Oh, nice.
Beautifully remastered and once again colorized. I think only one of the 5 episodes existed in color. They restored the color for the other 4 episodes, and it looks amazing. I used to have the old VHS release of this, actually, and it looks way better than the old VHS release. They really did a fantastic job. We have Day of the Daleks. One of the few times the Third Doctor encountered the Daleks. Really, really good stuff.
Yes, Frank, it's the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. That's why it's been doing so much.
The Curse of Peladon. Yes, Frank, absolutely. The reason is, as Skinslip just said, it's the 50th anniversary this year, so I've been just going nuts with Doctor Who. Expect lots of Doctor Who videos incoming, especially now that I have a lot of DVDs of it. We got the Sea Devils. Really good stuff, kind of related to the Silurian storyline. These are part of the same race. They're kind of cousins, as it were. The Mutants. And then finally, last but certainly not least, we have the Time Monster. Another great story featuring the Master. So, a good stack of Third Doctor stories. This is fully one half of the Third Doctor's run. John Pertwee, easily my second favorite Doctor after Tom Baker. The third and fourth Doctors, I think, represent really the golden age for the classic series. There's some of the best stories, best acting, just fucking great stuff. I love 70s era Doctor Who. It's good stuff.
So I got some requests via Twitter. People were like, "Oh, I want you to talk more about, cult movies and what good ones to get for my collection in these chats." So I would like to point out this.
Go for it.
The Fernando De Leo box set, the Italian Crime Collection. Fernando De Leo was a writer-director in Italy at a time when most of the films were macaroni war or spaghetti western films, and he did these very realistic, well, to a point, they're movies, realistic.
That was a great moment, Panic. Yes, I agree. Sorry, just one second, Skinstep. Manic just says, I love the Daleks talking smack with the Cybermen during the David Tennant era. Yes, I know exactly the scene you're talking about, and that was priceless. I had a big goofy grin on my face during that whole scene. That was great. Okay, carry on, Skinslip, sorry.
So they explore the underworld of Italy in a time in which people were very hush-hush about it. It exposes the realities of Italy at the time. And there's 4 movies in this box set, one of which is The Rulers of the City, which is only available in this box set. It is absolutely stellar. There's also a Blu-ray set that I didn't know was going to come out when I bought this, sadly. But everyone should at least watch some of these movies.
So what is it? What is it again? Who's the director's name?
Fernando De Leo.
Fernando De Leo.
He's
Skinslip's so smart.
He is a cult film historian. He is our cult film guy.
But he did Caliber 9, which is the best of the series, in my opinion. The Italian Connection, and the one most people know is The Boss, which is also known as Mr. Scarface. He got released in a lot of
wait a minute, is that Henry De Silva or Henry Silva?
Yes, that's Henry Silva.
I thought so. Yeah. He was awesome as the voice of Mr. Freeze in the Batman animated series.
Yes, he is. And then this one that's exclusively released in the set called Rulers of the City, and this is his other really good one.
Nice.
But you should check them all out. They are beautifully restored by Raro Video. The Blu-rays are amazing.
Raro.
The Blu-rays are amazing. I wish I had known that 2 months after buying the set there'd be a Blu-ray set.
I look up to everybody in this chat.
And we look down at you, Chris.
I assume so.
We're literally taller than Chris, all of us. No.
Hey, Chris, we're so jealous of you with all your review copies of everything from everybody
I'm
ever.
not jealous of him.
No, don't be. Don't be jealous.
Hey, I'm jealous
Please
that you got all those Doctor Who's way before I did. So I mean, come on, you still got a bunch that I don't have. So, have you watched any of them yet? Have you watched them, or they just got them on your shelf?
I watched. Here's what happens. That I didn't expect them to send me everything. I just said I'd love to release some Doctor Who DVDs, and they sent me like all of those. They were like, all
okay.
Shit.
You got like a nice stack of them, as I recall.
You got like
yeah.
$400 in DVDs.
The only one I watched
and you haven't
was
watched any of them. You fucking cock.
No. $400
in DVDs.
Just let him talk. Come on. Let him talk.
Come on, you drunk bastard.
Okay.
Let me explain myself.
Give him a chance. Come on.
$400 in DVDs. He hasn't watched only one of them. Are you fucking?
Oh, just shut up and let him talk.
I watched this one because I love Tom Baker.
Which
And
one? I can't see which one it is.
Nightmare of Eden.
Oh, Nightmare of Eden.
Tom
Nightmare of
Baker's
Eden's a
best
good
doctor,
one.
So
Nightmare of Eden's a good one.
I got. Let's see. I got six Doctor Who DVDs. I said I'd love to review Doctor Who, but then they sent me 6 DVDs all at the same time, and I had no time because there's actually a video where I have like a stack up to here of shit to review. And in the beginning of the video, it's me going down, going, "Yeah, I got a lot to cover." And BBC actually saw it and said, "If you never get to Doctor Who's, we understand. We saw your stack."
Well, that's good.
Oh, that's
well, at
nice
least
of
you know
them.
they're watching your videos.
They are.
which
In fact,
is
every time,
cool and
I
creepy all at
review
the same
something,
time.
One thing is, every time I review something from BBC, they actually call me and say, "Thank you so much for reviewing that." I was like, "Oh,
Fucking hell. Okay, I really got to get in touch with
You
BBC.
got so much
Justin,
stuff.
get in touch with
You know what? You know what I'm gonna do?
BBB. You gotta get in touch with BBB.
You know what I'm gonna
BBC.
BBB? Yes.
Yeah,
I gotta get
No, you know.
BBW.
You know what I'm gonna do?
British Broadcasting.
BB
British Broadcasting bastards.
or big black woman. Either way.
Big black babes.
well, speaking of review copies, how have you been doing, Sean, with that?
I haven't even touched that yet. I've been too busy. I've been busy, man. I don't know if you've been keeping up with my Facebook page, but I've been trying to.
I've been gone for 3 weeks. I've kept
Oh,
checking
okay.
nobody.
Well, basically, the past month, I've been just frantically trying to get shit in order, like sort of figure out where I want to go with the channel, what I want to do, and
pooping a lot.
I got an idea.
and
You can
pooping a
talk.
lot, and at the same time figuring out what I can do in terms of live stuff. I wanted to do more live events. I've been doing a lot with Twitch TV as sort of a new solution to being able to provide more video game content for the gamers who watch my stuff. So I'm able to do live events there, and at the same time, simultaneously, have videos ready for posting on YouTube, just using the software that I used to do the Twitch broadcasts. So that's definitely been a big thing. It's been a big learning experience. So yeah, over the course of the past month, I've basically just been sort of getting shit in order and figuring out what I want to do and where I want to go.
Well, hey, you've got a life, I don't, so I can understand.
Yeah, so I've been obviously focusing in the midst of all this experimenting and figuring things out, doing a shit ton of Dead Space. You may have noticed I posted a lot of Dead Space stuff on my channel over the past week.
I have not been watching.
That's okay. I still love you, man. All of that Dead Space stuff was from Twitch TV. Basically, I did live playthroughs of the entire Dead Space saga up to Dead Space Severed, which was the downloadable content for Dead Space 2. Did them all live on Twitch, and then a couple weeks ago, and then this week I reposted the videos all on YouTube. Just sort of as a lead up to Dead Space 3, which is of course the big thing. So finally now I'm doing Dead Space 3. And in the course of that, I was also, again, thanks to some generous donations from viewers, thank you so much to all my viewers who have been contributing to the show in whatever way you can.
I kind of miss getting generous donations like you do.
I was going to say, like,
donation.
thanks to the generous donations of my viewers, I was able to get some much-needed computer upgrades so that I could actually stream and record my PS3 games in full high definition. So now, Dead Space 3, if you can check it out right now on Twitch, if you just want to take a look at what it looks like. I'm going to be posting on YouTube, I think, starting tomorrow. I'm actually able to do Dead Space 3 in full high definition, and it looks amazing.
I can't even watch it in full high definition because my computer doesn't like
it. Looks gorgeous. Like I mean, honestly, even if you watch like the fucking 360p version, you'll notice a considerable improvement in the picture quality. It's just amazing how good it looks. And he can't hear me because he just took his headphones off because he needs to fix his hair. Okay.
No, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
But it's a trucker hat, and I've never worn one before, so it's kind of.
I hate trucker hats. I don't like them.
So that was.
I like normal
You
hats.
gotta. It's kind of like old underwear. At first, it feels constrained, but eventually, it becomes a part of you.
So
Wait,
I know my headphones have definitely become a part of me. Like whenever I take them off, there's like this indent in my head where the headphone band goes.
Do you ever feel like you have that weird tingling, like something's missing on your head?
Yes, anytime I'm not wearing my headphones, I'm like, oh shit. I was just gonna say.
I want to say this since I'm finally able to talk now.
Hold on 1 second. Shut up, Chris. Skin Slip has a Star Tours hat.
From before they revised Star Tours.
So an original Star Tours hat.
Yeah.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Okay.
I have never been to Disney World or Disneyland ever.
And I got this hat, which is my other hat I wear.
I've been to Disney World. I've never actually been to Disneyland.
And this hat you get
I haven't been to either one.
But I'm happy to say that I did go through the Haunted Mansion before they changed it and put all the Night Before Christmas stuff in it.
That's only during Christmas.
Nightmare.
And Halloween.
Oh, okay. So they keep it original the rest of the year?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Good.
So this hat is only available if you work at Disney.
Because the original Haunted Mansion, if you've never been through it, it is a fucking technical marvel. Like, it is one of those truly magical experiences. You go through it and think, like, okay, they made this thing, in the 60s? How the 60s. Fuck did they do these effects? And how are they doing them now using the same technology that they made 40 years ago? It's staggering how amazing it is. I mean, it's not that it's scary. It's just really cool. I mean, you are going through this old haunted mansion, and it is full of fucking ghosts. And you look, and you try to look, and you try to see
1969.
You try to see the strings or whatever, and you can't figure it out. You're just like, they're just ghosts. That's it. They're ghosts.
Here's an interesting thing. Okay,
it's amazing. It's just amazing.
Me, Alex, and my ex-wife, had season passes. So we literally went to Disneyland.
Donovan says it's just Disney magic, Sean. Disney magic.
We went through Haunted Mansion probably
absolutely
2 dozen times.
Disney magic.
And as we're on Disney Haunted Mansion, Alex goes, "I figured it out. Vincent Price's voice is the crow in every scene. When you don't see the raven in every scene, you only hear his voice when the cart angles you towards the raven. So you come to the room and like you're going backwards down this hill, and it looks you right at the raven, and then Vincent Price starts talking, or the Vincent Price, not really, it's something Freeze. I can't remember his name.
Paul Freeze.
Paul Freeze. Thank you, Paul Freeze.
Are you talking about your ghost host?
No, I'm talking about in every room you go to. As soon as you see the raven, Paul Freeze starts talking. So the story of the mansion is told by the raven.
Oh.
Isn't it the craziest fucking thing?
That's actually awesome on so many levels.
I know.
I now need to go to. Which one is this? A Disney
Disneyland.
World or
Disneyland.
It's both.
Disneyland?
It's both actually. Yeah.
I've only been to Disneyland once.
As
far as I know, Disneyland
what's the preferred
is
one?
that way. Disneyland's the original one.
Yeah, Disneyland is the original one. Disney World is the exact same thing. They just replicated it.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Because I've never known what the
Cheers
difference is.
to the Haunted Mansion hosted by the Raven.
And yes,
And
Rob
cheers.
Jensen, the final cut of Blade Runner is the one to see. Cheers. I don't have anything else to drink.
And I say cheers to the three best guys in the internet reviewing community.
And yes, Rob,
without whom
final
I
cut.
wouldn't be where I am.
Watch the final cut for your first experience watching Blade Runner, if you've never seen it before, because it is definitely the definitive cut. After that,
No cups from Skin Slip.
after that, my recommendation is watch the final cut again, because the first time you watch it, you'll be so blown away by the visuals, you're gonna miss like pretty much most of the
You'll fall
story.
asleep from the music.
Yeah, you're going to miss a good chunk of the story and miss a lot of the subtext. You might even think it's a boring film. It is not. There is way more to that film than first viewings can ever possibly give to you. You need
Okay,
to
so
see
what's the
it
point?
a few times.
Okay, Sean.
So
what's
hold
the
on.
point of the unicorn?
Well, hold on a second. I'll tell you the point of the unicorn in a second.
Okay.
But
I
the
can figure that part out.
it's actually stupidly simple, and you'll be kicking yourself once I explain it to you. But
Okay.
I'll tell you in a minute. Okay. So yeah, watch the final cut, then watch the final cut again, just to make sure that you've caught everything and you're actually picking up on it. Then, after that, I recommend, just for curiosity's sake, go back and watch the international cut, because it's like the uncut, uncensored version of the theatrical cut, with the narration.
I really like the narration, actually.
So you can see just how god-awful the narration that Skin Slip Loves actually is.
I didn't
and
love
then...
it. I liked it. There's a difference. I think the narration is interesting.
B, so you can get some context as to how people originally experienced the film. I will always have a soft spot for the international cut because it's the version that's on the Criterion Laserdisc, which is the version that I watched the most originally and originally fell in love with. I guess it's the version that I originally saw because it was the only version that was on video for a very long time over here.
And I think that's why I have a soft spot for it also.
The director's cut, the 1992 director's cut, is not a true director's cut. It was basically a studio cut done based on notes. It was like notes that Ridley Scott had done about what he had originally intended to do.
Scott was doing something at the time, didn't have time to cut himself. That's the only reason he says in the liner in one of the notes.
The final cut is the true director's cut. So basically, after watching the final cut a couple of times and the international cut, the rest, watch at your leisure. Honestly, by that point, it doesn't really matter. I would suggest going back and watching the work print, simply out of a curiosity. Because you have a lot of different alternate takes on scenes and whatnot, and there's some temp music in there. Some of the Vangelis music is in there, but a lot of it is temp music. And but it also has a lot of alternate takes and additional bits and pieces that aren't in any of the other cuts. So
a little bit rough around the edges.
It's definitely rough around the edges, but if you have the Blu-ray, it's all in high definition. All 5 cuts are in high definition, and even the work print.
And the Digibook is the first time that Dangerous Days, the documentary, is on high def.
Is it really? I thought it was just standard def.
It's on a DVD on the original release, and it's in high def on the new Digibook.
Is it just the standard def on a Blu-ray though? No,
it's all the stuff, all the film parts that are shown in the documentary in high def. All of the film footage that they took that was older stuff is at like 575p or whatever
so better. Oh, 5.
Better.
Fuck, what is it?
Yeah.
5. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. 5.
Yeah. And then
576. That's what it's. 576.
576. And all the new documentary stuff they did is in full 1080p. So it's a mix and match, but it looks gorgeous.
Okay.
Since
maybe
I previous Final Cut release, I downloaded the documentary because I own the documentary. I just wanted to see how it looked.
Dangerous Days is an amazing documentary. I actually, it's time I watched it again, and I like the sound of that Digibook. I might just pick that up. Oh, wait, I'm poor.
It's going out of print very shortly.
Oh, great, even better. And Verminart says...
being poor, Sean.
And Verminart says, after all that, go play the game. Yeah, absolutely. I really wish the game would get some kind of re-release.
High def upgrade.
Yeah, like a high def upgrade, because I mean it is like mid-90s full motion video, where it's got that kind of screen. It's got like that screen door effect to make it full screen on old PCs. But the thing I loved about the game was it really does put you in that world and let you sort of live in that world for a while, and it lets you take your time as well. Like there's no rush to do a lot of the missions. You can just kind of take your time and savor the scenery and the music, and it's just a really cool game that I was really very pleasantly surprised by.
And Matt, I've said time and again, the Evil Dead remake is going to be fucking awesome.
Where'd you get the Walt Disney hat, Skin Slip?
Friend at the studio. Well, friend of my wife's at the studio, I should say.
So former friend
of your
the studio.
ex-wife?
Yes, of my soon-to-be ex-wife.
Yes, way to rub that in, Chris. Very, very tactful.
He kept correcting himself, so I don't know how many times he's been married.
He didn't just suddenly run out and get married again.
The divorce hasn't even been filed yet.
Yeah, no, it's an ongoing...
Gotcha.
An ongoing depression.
Ongoing pile of poop.
Yep. And then the Tron hat was, I'm sorry, the Star Tours hat was from a friend who bought it like a week before Star Tours closed down.
Yeah.
I would actually like to get a Walt Disney hat because it would make me feel.
Oh, hold it a
freaky.
second. Hold it a second. Vermin Art says.
It's like $40.
Vermin Art says there is another Blade Runner documentary called On the Edge of Blade Runner. I recall seeing that one kicking around the torrent networks.
It's the only way to get it to the torrent networks.
Yeah.
I have it.
He said, or something similar to that. I watched it so long ago on Channel 4,
On the
and
Edge,
it was
I think
very
it's
good.
called.
Oh, good old Channel 4. That's like the Rebel BBC channel.
I believe it's called On the Edge something Blade Runner.
Yeah, yeah. I remember the original Max Headroom movie was on Channel 4. And that was
God.
To me, I've always, it's funny, you say this Blade Runner documentary and Max Headroom were on there. I've always thought of Channel 4 as like the cyberpunk channel. I'm sure that's completely inaccurate, but that's all I've ever thought of Channel 4 as. Good old BBC 4. The Rebel BBC channel.
Rebel.
Well, let's say I wanted to bring up something with you, Skin Slip.
What? Edge of Blade Runner is what it's called. Sorry. Continue.
I had received an email from Kino asking if I wanted to review Zombie Lake on Blu-ray.
Oh no, don't do it.
Which one? Zombie Lake?
Zombie Lake.
Wait a minute, didn't we watch that?
Yes.
Is that the one we watched? Oh, good lord, that was awful.
Oh, but
that was awful.
I thought it was so awesomely awful.
That was awesome. Awful even by Skin Slip standards. He was like, yeah, this is the shittiest zombie movie ever. Let's watch it.
I had so much fun watching it with Skin Slip.
Oh, it was hilarious. There's no question it was hilarious, but oh my god, it was bad.
Fucking riffing it like Mystery Science Theater.
It's awesome.
Brian is asking which version of Blade Runner has all of those discs. Basically, you want to look for a 5-disc edition.
New Digibook.
I think, the Digibook is not a 5-disc edition, though. It's just a final cut with an extras disc, I think, isn't it?
I thought it was all the discs.
I don't think so. I don't think it is.
Yeah, it's just the 2.
I'm pretty sure.
I apologize.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the 30th anniversary edition that just came out recently has all 5 discs.
It does.
By the way, you mentioned Blade Runner in front of Sean. He's never going to stop talking about it.
The only additional extras that are included in that I'm aware of is some additional stuff in the photo gallery. Beyond that, it's basically exactly the same. Yes, the suitcase edition is the 5-disc edition. The only other way to get the 5-disc edition is to get the individual Blu-ray release that's been available for a few years, which I think is technically out of print now, but you can still get it fairly cheap. I think
5-disc Blu-ray is $89.99.
Okay, never mind. Apparently, it's not cheap anymore.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, I don't know why that's so expensive because
it's
out of print, but you can still get all the same content and some of it in better quality on the new edition.
The 30th edition collector's edition, which is the big box of it all, only has 4 discs. So
yeah, but it's 4 discs, but they put stuff on Blu-ray that was previously on DVDs.
That's true.
So it may actually... I'm pretty sure it's the same contents.
And the Digibook is 3 discs, so it's missing the work print, I believe.
So it's missing something, yeah.
I believe. I'm about to look at the contents right now.
The Digibook is... Wait a minute. Brian says the Digibook is 3 Blu-rays and 2 DVDs.
It says disc 1, disc 2, disc 3 in the Digibook here on the website. So if there's 2 other DVDs, that's fine.
So maybe it does have everything then.
It might have everything.
Yeah, I was
told it only had the 2.
It's
only 25.
Just get whatever current edition seems to be the most deluxe, and you should get all 5 discs.
Digibook has the Digibook has the documentary plus all versions of the movie. It's just I don't know if they're all on high def.
All right.
They should be. I'm pretty sure that they didn't do new transfers of the movies for the new edition. It's just a repackage with some new extras.
Does anyone know if the Star Trek Blu-rays that are coming out are remasters or just the same discs?
That I don't know.
Those are the new sets of DVD sets, the one with the new art.
Well, no, there's
new Blu-rays coming out.
movies?
It's like a lot of them are Blu-rays that didn't get released solo. You know, like I believe only Khan and
I thought they all did.
no, like they only released like a couple separately from the box sets.
I thought they
Like,
all were, though. I swear I've seen all of them available individually.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but I just remember going on Blu-ray.com and they had like a bunch of pre-orders for a bunch of the original Star Trek movies. So I wonder if maybe they're remasters.
Manic
like actually truly remastered.
Manic says I've heard they're just the same as the last release, so basically repackages.
Why can't we get a true remaster?
And Brian says, but they're in new steelbooks. It's like, great. So we have,
but they still suck.
So we have shit that's been polished.
I don't know, the steelbooks are pretty nice looking.
We put gold.
I'm sure they are, but it's
diamonds on the shit.
God damn it! If it's still the same shit, garbage, just garbage shit transfers of the Star Trek movies we've had for the past 5 fucking years, then no. I don't care what packaging they put them in. I don't care what packaging they put them in. I'm not spending a single.
For the first time last week.
I'm not spending a single red cent. If I get Paramount on my review list and they send me those fucking things, I am just gonna rip them apart on cam. No. I'm gonna say, fuck this! I'm not watching this shit!
You're gonna send them to me, and I'll review them for you. You just post them on your channel. How about that?
You'll review them for me?
And you just post them on your channel, so they'll continue to send you stuff.
I will say, like, hey, Paramount, thanks for the freebies, but how about you remaster these fucking classic movies? For God's sakes. You've done such a great job with the new Star Treks and the original series, The Next Generation. Why are you fucking the movies up the ass? Really? What is your damage with hating your movies?
Why you no new transfers?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, what about the UK versions? Are those the same?
Did the same. Did the same.
Same fucking thing.
Same transfers everywhere. There is no good Blu-rays of those movies.
The only chance you have is if Japan decides to make a completely different transfer. They're the only people who don't fuck things up, apparently.
The only one that's even worth considering out of all 10 of the original movies is Wrath of Khan. Because they actually did.
I just saw that for the first time last week.
Yeah, fucking great movie. I love that movie so much. They actually did a new transfer of that one because apparently the film print was having some issues with the storage, and if they didn't do it now, they'd never be able to do it again. So
I saw Wrath of Khan in theater about 2 years ago, and the print was fucked. Like, it was bad.
Yeah, no,
it was the one on loan from the studio too.
Yeah, well, that's why they've had some issues with it, and they thought,
all over that bitch.
We better do a new transfer for Blu-ray right now.
Yeah, the same thing that happened.
We're never gonna be able to do it again. Yeah,
it was happening to that. It was bad.
Yeah.
I was like, Khan is like green because of the blue tint on this fucking shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
it was still
it was in pretty rough shape. So they did do that one properly, thank God. But the other 9,
I read that even Khan didn't look that good.
It doesn't look as good as it probably should, but it's definitely a night and day improvement over the other 9.
But is that a fault with the transfer or a fault with the source material?
A little bit of A, a little bit of B.
A little bit of both. In the case of Khan, I don't know what the fuck happened, but it was like the most damaged and in the worst shape of all 10 movies.
Because it's the most requested and the most loaned out movie.
That's probably why. Yeah, it's left the archives more than any of the others. But the others are in decent shape apparently, but they really need to be retransferred. And the problem is, my understanding is they used old high-def transfers that have been over-processed for the purpose of DVD release. So
and just turned up the DNR dial to 11.
So the DVDs now, when you're doing it for DVD release, that's justified because MPEG-2 compression. If you have film grain in there, it's just gonna mess with the MPEG-2 compression like crazy.
So bad.
Yeah, it's gonna make it look like garbage. So
even Criterion did it.
So they smooth everything over because you won't see that detail on DVD. And if you leave it in, it's just going to fuck with the MPEG-2 compression. So they smooth it over so that it compresses more nicely to MPEG-2 and 480p. and that's that.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure that those are the versions I have on DVD. But on DVD, the resolution is so low, it looks fine. You cannot tell. They look fine.
Criterion, the practice is even common with Criterion to DNR them for DVD release.
For the DVDs.
Yes.
Because that's just, I mean, that's solely catering to the limitations of the DVD format and trying to get the best out of that format and that
the video
resolution.
format, not the film format. That's why.
Exactly. But, I mean, Criterion, you look at the Blu-rays they do whole new fucking transfers. And they, they just keep,
Blu-ray.
or more than likely, they just keep the untouched masters that they made from the original film transfers.
Every single one of them has been redo.
Really? Okay.
Really?
Well, that's... I was thinking that would be a nice shortcut, but apparently they didn't do that. But anyway...
No, they do all 4K masters now. Or
whatever.
Or
they do
for older films.
Bottom line, Criterion does it right. Yeah, so basically with the Star Trek ones, what they did was they took those over-processed, made-for-DVD high-def transfers and just dumped them onto Blu-ray. And that's what the problem is.
And added some DNR to them while they were at it.
No, they didn't.
It's already present from the masters they made.
Exactly. It was already there.
There wasn't more?
No. Believe it or not, there wasn't. They just...
To be honest, the DNR's not that bad. It's just DNR.
No, dude. Do I need to pull out screenshots?
No, I'm saying...
Do you need to see... No, Skin Slip. Do you need to see...
That is not the worst.
Do you... No. Do you need to see the wax Spock from Star Trek 6? Do I need to pull out the wax Spock? The wax Spock is a fucking travesty. It is horrifying.
That's the worst of them, yes.
It is horrifying.
Absolutely.
I actually once showed it to a friend, and he screamed. He didn't know. He thought he was looking at one of those paintings that are made to look like they're melting.
It looks like a fucking oil painting. That's what it looks like.
Oil painting, yes.
It does.
And then I had another friend who said, "Oh, that looks great." And then I punched him.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Matthew McRae has a valid question.
Thank you for punching him.
Hang on, Matthew McRae asks, why did they not do the director's edition for the Blu-rays? That is a very good question.
Hate you. That's why.
With Wrath of Khan, I don't know what the reason was, because Wrath of Khan, you would think if they were going to all that trouble, they would do it properly. But I know the one you're talking about. You're talking about the motion picture. Motion picture has had no less than 3 cuts. There's the theatrical cut, the extended cut, which appeared only on VHS and Laserdisc, and the director's edition, which had the redone effects. The main reason for that is very simple. When they did the redone effects for the director's edition, they did them in standard definition.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was basically being redone specifically for the DVD release, so they just redid the effects in 480p.
I prefer
that's
the
it.
theatrical, to be honest with you.
Yeah, honestly, I prefer the extended edition because it's the version I saw the most.
Between the DVD, the director's cut, and the theatrical cut, choose the theatrical.
The director's edition has its moments, but I did hear some complaints about it, which I think are valid complaints. They changed a lot of the sound effects. Like, for example, one of the big ones that I heard a lot of complaints about was one of the alarm, like the klaxon sounds. When the Enterprise is encountering an emergency, there's like this really jarring klaxon sound, like it's just like red alert kind of thing going on. And it's like, holy fuck, there's like serious shit going down in the original version. But then in the director's edition, they changed it to some like fucking wimpy klaxon with a hair lip that just is not the same kind of, doesn't have the same oomph. And the funny thing is, if you look at the extras on that DVD, they have some deleted scenes where you hear the original klaxon sound in the extras, and you realize, like, fuck, the original sound effect was so much better. Why did they change that? So, I like the director's edition because, personally, I've never had a big issue with the motion picture. I know a lot of people complain about the pacing and shit, but I always enjoyed it because, and see if you follow me on this one, for me, the motion picture exemplifies what was great about the original concept of Star Trek. And that was the exploration of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
So here they are presented with this ginormous unknown that is threatening Earth. So they go out and they investigate it and they attempt to understand it and examine it and figure it out. That to me is Star Trek right there. Is the exploration of the unknown. Is the unknown always action-packed and full of excitement and interest? No. But that's what the exploration of the unknown is, you know? It's like, sometimes it takes a while to figure out what the fuck is going on, and sometimes the answer isn't always as godlike as you want it to be. But it's the answer. They figured it out. It's Voyager made sentient by aliens. That is fucking cool. That is a cool concept, and I really like what they did with that. And that revelation when Kirk realizes, he's like, when he's scrubbing off the thing, and he's like, V'ger, this is Voyager. This is fucking Voyager.
For anyone who hasn't seen that.
You know, sorry, big spoiler there, but anyway.
It's only 35 years old, whatever.
Major spoiler there, but just that whole thing I thought was great. It's like, here we think it's this big, crazy alien thing threatening to wipe out Earth, but it's not. It's Voyager that met some machine civilization that just wanted to help. You know, it's like, you know, we'll help you. Your mission is to explore the universe and to know all that is knowable. We will help you do that.
And might kill you in the process.
So they upgraded Voyager so that it could fulfill its programmed mission, which was just, you know, to man's folly, was very basically programmed. But I thought that was a great idea, and like, to me that just exemplified all that is Star Trek, just to take this very simple thing and make it into something cosmic and crazy, you know. Absolutely. And a lot of people talk a lot of smack about Star Trek the Motion Picture, but I love it. I think it's great. I love the fact that it takes them so fucking long to figure it out, you know, because they're being careful, for fuck's sake. I mean, this thing has just wiped out how many people and colonies and ships? They're being careful. They're not just going to run in guns blazing, let's kill everything. No. They're going to be careful. They're going to take their time. They're going to, they have, I think this is brilliant. They have the bald chick who is basically killed and remade as this android, which is their intermediary where they can talk to V'ger. V'ger is trying to understand them. So they are talking to bald Chicky Boo, who I can't remember her name. But anyway, they're talking to her. And basically by talking to her, they are talking to V'ger. V'ger is trying to understand them. They are trying to understand V'ger. That, to me, exemplifies all that is Star Trek. I mean, the whole idea behind Star Trek was they were going out into the universe and and trying to understand it. You know, meeting these alien civilizations, these aliens, cultures, whatever, trying to understand, trying to figure it out, and trying to, like, build an understanding between each other. It's like, hey, we're mankind, we're here, we want to get to know you. Is that cool? You know? And that, to me, is what Star Trek the Motion Picture was all about. And I think it did it beautifully, and I think it really doesn't get enough credit for that. So, I'm just gonna fucking drink. Fuck it.
Shut up and drink.
Holy shit, you are so fucking long-winded when you're drunk.
I know. But am I wrong?
Are there any Star Trek?
Counter my opinion.
No.
I
agree with it.
I'm okay with
Stop making me
Is there a
hard
Star
to do
Trek
both
film that nobody likes?
I think, in short, I think the motion
Frontier.
picture really doesn't get enough credit. I think it's way better than people give it credit for.
And Star Trek 5's the worst.
They get too hung up on the pacing. Star Trek 5 definitely has issues. They
meet God, and God wants a starship.
It has, but oh, come on. That
It's
one,
God, dude,
that
it's
moment,
starship.
yes, that moment where Kirk is like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
I I loved Undiscovered Country. It's my favorite one.
That is such a great Kirk moment. Where I don't
like Generation very much.
That is such a great Kirk moment, though, where basically Kirk questions God.
That's exactly what Kirk would do. He'd be like, "What? No."
No, that is exactly. That is such a perfect Kirk thing to do. It's like, wait a minute.
The problem with Generations is you're not turning it off soon enough. Right as they stop Dr. Sauron, you hit stop. You're done with the movie. You don't need to see any more. If the oh my scene, if all he had to do is not say oh my,
oh
so
my.
did we stop him? Done. Why was that so hard?
You know what? I really want to read the book that William Shatner wrote that brings Kirk
sequel, right?
Kirk back after that, because I want to see, because I know that the Shat himself probably felt that was a shitty ending for Kirk.
Just the oh my. Like,
yes.
He died like a man.
It was a horrible way to him forgo.
It really was.
He died saving the universe. Exactly what Kirk would have done. I have a problem with what he said at the end.
I want to see how Kirk himself retcons that and makes it cool.
Yeah. My favorite Star Trek
you know what?
Is First Contact when Picard calls Worf a coward.
Oh
if you were
my
god!
Else,
I would kill you right now.
Oh my god, that movie is so full of awesome moments. That is the best Next Generation movie, hands down.
Absolutely.
I love First Contact.
The worst.
I've watched that one so many times. I love First Contact.
If you were anyone else, I'd kill you right now.
Despite its continuity problems with the original series, I love First Contact.
It's a retcon, sir.
It is a retcon, but it is a retcon that is done well, and
that's right.
It has so much good going for it that I can forgive the retconning. But yeah, I think I actually have, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in my archives, I have the audiobook of Star Trek The Return, written by William Shatner.
Take it easy, Matt.
Read by William Shatner. I think we need to listen to that at some point.
I think so.
I think that would be epic on so many levels.
Bible, as read by William Shatner. Moses and then Moses. Oh my.
It's got to be better than read by Larry King.
Have you seen Larry King lately? He looks like a human skeleton. It's freaky.
I have not, but I can imagine.
He looks like he's dead on his feet. His eyes are all sunken in, and he has no it's just he's a skull with a face. It's really creepy.
So yeah, Star Trek Blu-rays need a new transfer. The end. Just want to throw that out there.
Oh yeah, that's what started all this, didn't it?
Yeah, I blame you, Chris.
An hour and a half later.
I blame you, Chris. Star Trek.
You, Chris.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I forget who. Someone was asking me, what do I think about the crossover with Deep Space Nine into the original series?
It's called Trials and Tribulations.
Trials and Tribulations, yes.
I love that. Why do you what happened to the forehead wrinkle? We don't talk about that.
Yes. I love that. That's great. And the funny thing, I think, what the fuck was it? It was either Voyager or Enterprise actually addressed that question and explained it.
Voyager.
Yeah, it was one of them. They actually...
The genetic modifications, right?
They did, yeah. It was some kind of thing that they'd done. They'd gone wrong, and they're like, fuck it, whatever. But, very, very simplified explanation of it. But, yeah, as for that episode, I loved it, personally. I thought it was absolutely brilliant how they...
Oh, apparently it was Enterprise. I stand corrected.
They had literally taken the computer compositing technology that they had developed for Forrest Gump and used it immediately, almost within a year of Forrest Gump, to do this Star Trek crossover, which I thought was just a brilliant idea, and I thought they did it really, really well, and I thought it was really respectful of the original Tribbles episode, and it was just a lot of fun seeing the Deep Space Nine characters interacting with the original series and actually being a part of the bar fight, and it was just such a fun 45 minutes of fan wank, you know?
It was commemorate the 30th anniversary of Star Trek. Actually.
It was. That's right. I knew it was some kind of... I couldn't remember which anniversary it was, but yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it a lot. They actually
2 years after Forrest Gump.
They actually include it on the Star Trek original series Season 2 set.
That's awesome.
They actually have a disc. The second disc of that set is entirely devoted to all things Tribbles. So you have the Trouble with Tribbles in glorious high definition with the remastered effects or the original effects. Take your pick or mix and match as you go. 7.1 audio, original mono audio. Mix and match as you go, whatever is your preference. I love the way they did those DVDs. It is just perfection, absolute perfection. Then as a bonus, you have More Tribbles, More Troubles, the episode from the premiere episode of the animated series, remastered from the original film prints in high definition, and it looks fucking amazing.
And Raptor Threads is on Blu-ray in the UK as region free.
They need to put the Star Trek animated series on Blu-ray. I know they have the film prints. They need to make that happen. And then also as a bonus, they have more Trials and Tribulations, which sadly is not a remaster. It's just an upconvert of the 480i
but
original
it's better than
master.
nothing.
But at least you get to see the episode. And I have to say, when they upconvert standard def stuff to 720p, which is what they do in those cases, it looks like shit. It really does. It really looks like
nothing,
shit.
though, to say.
What would have been better is if they had just left it 480i. Because Blu-ray can do that. You can do standard def on Blu-ray. I don't know why they felt the need to upconvert it to 720p and force it into 16:9 with the black bars.
So they can say that it's high def.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking bullshit, though, is what it is. But anyway, really cool. If you're a fan of Tribbles, and who isn't, Tribbles are awesome. We all want stuffies of them to cuddle with when we sleep. Check out disc 2, I think, or disc 2 or 3 of the Star Trek Original Series Blu-ray set, because it is just Tribble mania, and they have like documentaries and featurettes on there as well, all about Tribbles, and they have a thing about the making of that Deep Space Nine episode, and it's just,
I'm actually wrong,
It's
Raptor.
fun stuff.
Threads is not on Blu-ray. It's The Way the Wind Blows is
When the Wind Blows.
Right. That's on Blu-ray in UK, and that's region free, and that's Nightmare Fuel.
Yes. Absolutely.
I downloaded it, and I watched a few minutes of it. Like,
Didn't we actually Beetle, or weren't you there when we Beetled it,
Yeah.
Skin Slip?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Still have nightmares about it.
And you were like, what the fuck? This is the most depressing cartoon I've ever seen.
Yeah, if I watch it now, I'd be in tears. I'm in such a shitty, like, emotional place. I'd be sobbing uncontrollably the entire movie.
No, it really is. It's really a heartbreaking, gut wrenching movie.
It's not like a gut and a fart wrench at the same time.
It's a gut wrench. Yeah.
Oh god. I guarded in my pants.
Well, and you know who did that? Who?
Who?
It was Robert Munsch.
Oh.
Robert Munsch, who's done all of these wonderful children's stories, decided to do this apocalyptic nightmare story.
It's fucking nightmare.
And it's brilliant. It is just brilliant. It's just this wonderful elderly couple that just doesn't know any fucking better, trying to deal with an impending nuclear apocalypse and going by all the government pamphlets, which are completely contradictory to each other, and trying to deal with it. And it's just heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. It's just a beautiful, depressing movie.
It's nightmare fuel. You will just be depressed for weeks after reading.
Oh yeah, it really
if you're not, you're a heartless bastard.
Yeah, it really just rips your heart out and stomps all over it. Threads
shits on it.
Threads is another one. I mean, Threads is just a fucking gauntlet of hell. God. I mean, it is.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh my God, you haven't seen Threads? I actually got Bringer of Funeral sent me the DVD of it.
I know.
Yeah, we should totally watch that sometime.
No, I'm good.
It's
I've heard I'm good.
chicken.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's
maybe in a year or two when
I have seen it twice. I've seen it twice. The first time I watched it was with Annetta, and Annetta is emotional with movies at the best of times. By the end of Threads, she was just a fucking emotional wreck. She was just like destroyed. Like box of Kleenex was like, it's so sad.
Just the entire box of Kleenex and just blew into it, right?
Yeah, just the whole box. Just pull out the stack.
She acted the whole box.
Threads.
When I saw that movie, all I could think at the end was no hope for the human race.
Yep.
The thing that's amazing about Threads, I mean, it's the story of basically what if nuclear bombs fell on like a heavily populated area. In this case, it
The Day After is another similar film.
Yeah, I have The Day After as well. He sent me Threads and The
too.
Day After in the same package.
I just got The Day After, actually. Someone gave it to me.
I have not watched The Day After yet. Threads, I remember the two being compared quite a bit at the time, and the general consensus seemed to be like, yeah, Threads is way more intense and plausible.
I watched the Day After in history class, of all things.
Wow.
When I was, like, 14.
It was
me.
like the height of nuclear paranoia.
I'm not that old.
Yeah.
Still the 90s.
Well, I guess that would have been the tail end of it, because I remember during the 80s there was still a lot of nuclear paranoia, hence why there were so many movies on that subject. But the thing about Threads is basically it shows what would happen if nuclear bombs fell on a heavily populated area, and how, basically what the impact of that would be, what the effect of it would be. And it shows, what the immediate effects would be, who would be killed by the, initial impact, who would be killed by long-term radiation. And it shows the effect on not just the people immediately there at the time, but also their subsequent generations over the course of several decades. So it shows like a timeline of what the long-term effects of a nuclear war would be on a heavily populated area. In this case, it focuses on a small town in England. And it's brutal. It really is brutal. I mean, it literally shows you progressively how a nuclear war would initiate the complete and total collapse of civilization as we know it. And it is just a harrowing film experience. I recommend everybody watch it at least once in their lives. Just once. Just force yourselves to watch it at least once in your lives. If you don't have the DVD, you can actually find the movie on YouTube. It's actually on YouTube. Check it out. Threads.
And congrats, Raptor, on completing your first screenplay.
What? What's this? What's going on?
Raptor finished his first screenplay.
Hey, good job, Raptor.
So we have to snap.
That's awesome.
That's how it works. No. Not even kidding you. That's just how it works.
Crazy. I forgot, snap your fingers as I finish my first screenplay. Well, good job.
It's what the writers do. Fuck if I know.
Skin Slip says now rewrite it. First draft. First draft
first
always
draft
sucks
sucks.
donkey balls. Well, that's true. That's true.
What you do is you write one script, then you go and write another script, and when you're done with that other script, you go back to the first script and rewrite it. And when you're done with rewriting that, you go back to the other script, and you just go back and forth.
You just back and forth until you have pure gold.
Well, you're never happy with what you write, so you have to just at some point... The process of writing is abandoning your favorite children every time. I'm not even kidding you. Because you get so attached to the screenplay. I don't want to get rid of the scene. It's such a good scene. But it doesn't belong in the screenplay because it doesn't drive the story forward. It does nothing for the character.
Right.
You need to get rid of it,
Yeah.
And it's all about... It's like abandoning your darlings. You just have to at some point just shove them out the door.
So what you do is you take that scene that doesn't work in that screenplay, you set it aside, and you bring it into another screenplay later where it does work.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
I have a file, probably 100 pages long, of just scenes that I've just cut out from other screens I really liked. just 100 pages long, just all these little scenes. I've cut things out.
Sorry,
and made them over.
sorry. A couple questions here. Brian says, "Well, stick it in your PS3 and let's watch it." Well, I'd love to do that with Threads, except mine is the Region 2 edition. It's never actually been released in Region 1, so my PS3 won't play it. Sorry.
Second of all, that's illegal, and we don't do those things.
Well, and yes, exactly, and you can't do that here. Frank asks, "What was the first Blu-ray that I got?" The first Blu-ray that I got was actually the original, just regular keep case edition of 2001: A Space Odyssey. Which was a pretty damn good first Blu-ray to get, actually. I've since replaced that keep case edition with the Steelbook, just because I had to sell the keep case a while back, and the Steelbook is awesome and rare. But yeah, it was 2001. 2001.
I don't even remember what my first one was.
I don't remember what my first one was. Shit.
Like, I think it might have been... No Country for Old Men.
I know what it was.
Wow.
My very first
Classy choice there, Stad. Classy.
Mine was Bird with a Crystal Plumage. That was my first Blu-ray.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's a great movie. Do you have the Blue Underground release of that?
Yeah, of course.
Fuck, isn't that out of print now?
Yes, it is.
God damn.
It's also incorrectly framed because we've discussed
no.
it. Vittorio Storaro is insane.
Oh, no, really? Wait a minute.
Yeah, we keep talking.
Did Vittorio... Wait a minute. Did Vittorio Storaro approve the incorrect framing?
Yes, because he's insane. He reframed... No, he's gone back to all his previous films and reframed them 2.4 to 1. 2.4 which is the foil format he invented in the 70s or 80s or whatever.
I remember now.
He's insane. He just lost his
But you're not losing like a ton of picture. It's just like a 0.5 or something.
Yeah, it's either 2.35 or it's 1.85. That's a huge difference.
That's a huge difference.
I think it's 2.35 originally.
2.35 and he's reframed it to 2.4? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So he's cropped it a little bit.
Yeah, but it's still, like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. Vittorio... Something about Vittorio Storaro. I think I probably mentioned this in our other conversation about him, but...
He's insane, yeah.
Well, yes, he's insane. But, Dune, the Sci-Fi Channel miniseries version, 3-part miniseries version, Vittorio Storaro did all the cinematography for that.
Yes, he did.
And there's a really... One of the reasons I love my director's cut set of that miniseries is because it has...
Like $80, by the way.
Yeah, I know, it's out of print now. Like, fuck, I'm glad I got it.
A few years now, yeah.
Yeah, one of the reasons I love that set is because it has some fucking awesome extras, and one of them is a featurette called The Color Wheel, which is all about the cinematography, style, and philosophy of Vittorio Storaro, where he talks about it. And he talks about what his idea is behind the use of color and such, and what different colors represent, and how he applied that to his approach to Dune. And it's just fucking amazing, fascinating stuff. I mean, he may be insane, but he definitely has artistic vision. There's no question about that. And actually, I looking at...
he's a great cinematographer.
The way that he used the idea of different colors to represent different parts of the main character's personal journey and development was just brilliant. I thought, like, oh wow, what a cool way to incorporate like another level into the main really character's common. Journey. Yeah,
especially in the really good cinematographers.
But that's exactly what he did. Was he took that idea, was like, this color represents this part of the hero's journey. This part represents this part. And
you'll see like the character with anger issues will be wearing red, and the really calm and serene.
Well, and then when he finally achieves that inner peace and understands himself and where he's going and what his purpose is, it's white.
Right.
Because white is the culmination of all the colors.
Yep.
And
white. And not, yeah.
You see that throughout the Dune miniseries, and I was like, fuck, that's brilliant. It's so simple, yet so brilliant. And done so perfectly.
Yeah.
But yeah, great stuff. We definitely have to veto the whole Dune frickin' saga one of these days. Great shit.
I was never a huge fan of the TV of the miniseries, but I mean, you know, I'll give it another try.
It's worth it. It's worth. How many times have you? Let me ask you. How many times have you seen it?
Twice, and it's been over 5 years since I last seen it.
Have you seen?
You know what? I saw it before I went to film school, so I think I'll appreciate it a bit more
Okay.
now.
I think a lot of people didn't like originally I was kind of iffy about it because I was just so in love with the 84 version. Like I love the visual style of the David Lynch version and the production design of it. I think it's just fantastic.
I want the 9-hour cut.
Yeah, don't we all? But then after a while, so I watched the miniseries version. I was like, oh, yeah, this is different. You know, it's okay. But I still prefer the 84 version. But then I watched it a couple more times, and then I really warmed up to it because they took a more because they had a limited budget. They took a more sort of stage focused approach to it.
Yeah, most of that's shot on a freaking soundstage.
It is
very well.
It's shot on a soundstage with like cloth backdrops of the background, like when they were in the desert and stuff. And they said basically the way they decided to approach it was rather than trying to fight the fact that they had limited budget, let's just embrace it and run with it. So what they did was they said,
desert, which is great.
yeah, they said let's film it as if we are filming a stage play, like an opera, because this story is very operatic in the way that it's structured. So that's the way they decided to do it. So they used like these huge cloth backdrops for the desert and stuff like that, and the palaces and all these different things. And they had like huge sets too, but to make up for that and to give it more scale, they used these huge cloth backdrops to give it more expanse and stuff, like the desert scenes and such. And when I watched the extras and I saw like that was kind of what they were going for, and then I went back and watched the thing, I was like, I get it now. And now that I sort of wrap my head around that concept, I can get into this more. And I found I enjoyed it a lot more after
I still really
that.
like the original one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, God. I mean,
the art design is amazing.
The original is fantastic. But, I mean, obviously, I mean, you got to understand, I mean, obviously they wanted to distance themselves to some degree from that because it has been so firmly established as the visual style of that world. So they wanted to differentiate it, but I mean keep it similar obviously because it still evokes that same feeling, but in other respects keep it different enough that it wouldn't be constantly compared. You know, they wanted it to be their own thing, their own interpretation. And to be fair, I mean they were given a mini-series format, which means they could do a lot more as far as adapting the story. And they give the story a lot more expansiveness than the movie could. And I think in that respect, they did a good job. I mean, because they really did give us a lot more of the story than... Because I have the director's cut version, which actually does give you a lot... I forget how much longer it is. Like 20 minutes longer, I think, than the televised version. So it does give you quite a bit more of the story than even the miniseries version of the film could do. And I really have to pee. And then I have to smoke. I'll be back.
Righty then.
Talk about brilliant stuff. I'll be back.
Funk Punk's my favorite foreign film with
Damn it,
Breathless.
interrupt me more.